It's a new month in our nation's capital, and that's a good thing for Georgetown, as after a near-perfect September, the Hoyas struggled in October, going 0-4. Rob Scarlatta's team hoping to turn the page as they welcome in the Holy Cross Crusaders here on Military Appreciation Day on the Hilltop. Hi, football fans. I'm Jeremy Huber, joined by Emory Hunt and Michael Niebrook. And Emory, anytime that you go on a long losing streak, there can be problems with team morale, but doesn't seem to be the case with Georgetown.
Because you always get back to basics, running the football, playing great defense, playing physical, and that's what we're going to see today from Georgetown.
And, of course, they've done a good job on special teams and on defense, really keeping games close. Need a little bit more on the offensive end. Of course, Mike, you're the old quarterback, and this year's team, they've been hampered a little bit by the injury to Tim Barnes, their starting quarterback. They were 3-0 with him in the lineup. He gets hurt against Harvard. He's been out. It's been a little bit of a struggle since then.
Yeah, and Clay Norris is going to get the start today, and both guys, Clay and Brock, have struggled a little bit in the game times that they've had this year. But Coach Carlotta is optimistic about today's game. He's gotten a lot of good offensive work this week in practice, and the guys are still competing, and that's the big thing that you want to see if you're Coach Carlotta. Have your guys still compete, go out there, work hard each and every day, and then hopefully it shows up on game day.
And competition, of course, will be big. Again, both guys expected to see some playing time in this contest. Well, let's go ahead and look at our quarterback comparison. We go ahead and start with Holy Cross and Jeff Wade.
And Jeff Wade's coming back from an injury. Holy Cross is super happy to have him back. The first key for him is stay accurate with the football. Right now, through 4 games, he's at 65% completion percentage. Very good for a quarterback at this level. He also needs to continue to protect the football. Only 2 interceptions so far on the season, and I want to see him use his legs a little bit. He's not the most explosive runner, but he has the ability to go out there, make plays running, and give his team first downs.
We'll see what Wade can do coming back into the lineup for Holy Cross. Of course, with Georgetown right now, a little bit of a 2-quarterback system in Clay Norris and Brock Johnson, both trying to go ahead and see what they can do.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier. Both guys have struggled a little bit on the season. And for me, both these guys have 3 keys. And the first one is stay mentally engaged. It's very difficult to go out there, get a couple series, come out on the sideline and have a couple series that you're sitting. Both of them need to stay mentally engaged in the game the whole time. They also need to take what the defense gives them. Don't go out there and try and do too much. Just take what the defense gives you. And also, somebody needs to step up here. Between both of these guys, one of them has to come out and step up today. I'm hoping one of them comes out, puts on a big show, and solidifies himself as a starter for the rest of the season.
Yeah, one of these guys, again, some good quarterback play go a long way for the Hoyas considering the rest of the team is playing right now. Let's go ahead and look at our keys to the game. We start with Holy Cross. And Emory, what do you see for the Crusaders?
Well, number one, you have to play the run on the way to the quarterback. That means you have to get extra aggressive in trying to put pressure on those 2 young quarterbacks. And also perimeter perfection, I think, on both ends. Can they win wide receiver versus cornerback battles? Can they win on the outside on their own defense? They have to win on the perimeter if they want to have success. And they also, this goes without saying, have to win inside the red zone. You need 7 instead of 3 if you want to beat Georgetown.
One of the guys that helps them get into the red zone and get into the end zone are one of our players to watch in this one, the wide receiver, Brendan Flaherty.
One of the top receivers in the FCS. A little bit of a down year numbers-wise, but he is still one of the biggest threats on this offense, and Georgetown will have their hands full trying to cover him.
And, of course, talking to some of their folks, they say it's a little bit of the quarterback, the rotation at Holy Cross with so many quarterbacks going through due to injury. Let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball for our next player to watch, the defensive lineman, Dwayne Cameron.
And this is why you have to play great on a perimeter. When you look at Cameron's game, 12 TFL, 7 sacks, that tells you as a coach, this guy lives in the backfield. And if he can be disruptive in this ball game, they're going to have a lot of success defensively.
Talking about disruption, our third player to watch in this contest, also on the defensive side of the ball, in Ryan Smith.
And look, 9 TFLs, 9 sacks, and that's the other bookend to Cameron. So if they can squeeze those gaps and force Georgetown to go downhill in their running game, they can have a huge opportunity here to come away victorious. So again, Smith and Cameron have to play big time on the defensive end.
Let's switch over to the Georgetown Hoyas. Their keys to the game in this one. Mike, what do you see for the Hoyas?
Well, it starts with establishing the run game. We just saw that they have 2 young quarterbacks that don't have a lot of experience. Right now, this team's averaging 116 yards per game and 3.3 yards per rush. This offense is built around running the football. They have to establish the run game early. They also have to get off to a fast start. This has been a key to the game every single game that we've called. Their offense has to get off to a fast start to give their defense a little bit of a morale boost, that they're not just going out there and stopping them and the offense just not doing much throughout the course of the game. And they also need to win on special teams. They've had a lot of big special teams plays this year, especially blocking kicks. Winning the special teams battle could be the key to the game today.
Yeah, special teams has been huge for the Hoyas so far this year. One of the key guys in that, Christian Tate, the freshman, he's out of the lineup today. They were expecting him to play, has an ankle issue. Again, that's going to be big when we've seen so far this year, Emory, what he's been able to do when it comes to making big plays in special teams.
And this is a former high school running back as a freshman, competing hard and starting as a defensive lineman and playing well. That's a big-time loss for Georgetown today.
After a big-time performance last week, part of the block kicks and tackles for loss, as he earned Patriot League Rookie of the Week honors. Also, Justin Harrell going to be out today, so two key players missing in this contest for Georgetown. Let's look at our players to watch in this one. Mike, we start in the backfield with Alex Vallis.
Yeah, it all starts with Alex Vallis, and I want to see him come out and pick up the pace a little bit today. He is a very explosive running back. They need Alex Vallis to come out and have a big game today to help with that run game and take a little bit of pressure off their quarterbacks.
Of course, we talked about Christian Tate, our other player to watch, the guy he's tied with when it comes to block kicks in the FCS. That'd be Hunter Kislick.
Hunter Kislick's had a really good year for this Hoya defense. Right now, he's leading the team with 7.5 tackles for loss, having a solid defensive year up front, really leading that defensive unit.
See what he can do today. Our third player to watch, another guy who's been a big player for Georgetown on defense, Jelani Williamson.
Jelani Williamson's probably my favorite guy that we've seen kind of grow up throughout the course of the year. He's had, leads the team right now with 3 interceptions, having a very good year, also coming up and making a lot of tackles. I believe he's about 8th on the team right now with 40 tackles on the year, having a big year for this Hoya defense.
Not the biggest guy, but not afraid to stick his nose in there and go ahead and make some big plays. Well, had a chance to catch up with both coaches before the game. Our guys pulling some double duty. Michael Niebrick had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Holy Cross Crusaders, Tom Gilmore.
All right, Coach, talk to me a little bit about the game plan for today.
Well, if you know anything about us this season, we've had a lot of injuries at quarterback and running back. We're getting Jeff Wade back, so we'll get a little bit more of our pass game back that we had a few weeks ago, so we can open it up a little bit more. We still have to do a better job with the run game and just stopping the RPO, the run-pass option that Georgetown has offensively with our defense.
Now, your offense struggled a little bit last week against Colgate. Talk to me about some of the things that you guys did throughout the course of the week to build and get ready for today.
Well, getting Jeff back, changed what we're able to do. Each quarterback has a different skill set, so, getting him back kind of changed some of the things that we can do. And, obviously it always comes down to execution, but, with his skill set, we're like I said, we're going to be able to open it up a little bit more offensively.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
Mike with Coach Gilmore. Also had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas, Emory Hunt, doing the honors, Rob Scarlatta.
Coach, what's the game plan today?
Try and get out to a good start. Offensively all week we've been emphasizing one man, one job, and we need to do a better job early in the game, not getting behind the sticks. So going to do that and keep it rolling on defense. Our kids have been doing a great job running to the football, so hopefully we can put those two things together.
And you look at the latter part of the season, you want to see that physicality that you guys have shown all throughout the year maintain itself in this ballgame?
I don't think that goes away. That's a culture that you build during the preseason, and I think on all 3 sides with Coach Doherty, Coach Thompson, Coach Newberger, they preach that. So we're always in a physical ball game with Holy Cross. Coach Gilmore does a great job with his staff. His team always plays well and plays hard against us. So really looking forward to getting to it on a Saturday here.
Well, good luck, Coach.
Thanks.
Rob Scarlatta there with Emory Hunt. And Emory, we kind of mentioned it in the open, it's a tough situation. You lose 5 in a row, and you can kind of point back to when Tim Barnes goes down. When you were talking to Coach, how did you feeling for him? Still very positive, as always, Rob Scarlatta.
Well, because he's excited about how his team has fought through this adversity as far as from a physicality standpoint, from an assignment standpoint. Nothing has dropped off from the losses, so that gives you confidence and a lot of positivity going forward.
Yeah, and again, you see Rob Scarlatta there as his Hoyas come onto the field. And Mike, obviously we have a good resource in you. When you're in a situation like right now, what Norris and Johnson are in, where really, a few plays can kind of tilt the favor and put things in your favor when it comes to this kind of quarterback competition, how do you approach something like that?
Well, I think the big key is staying engaged in the game, and it's never an easy situation having to go out there, play, and then sit on the bench for a little bit. They have to stay engaged mentally, and when they go out there, they need to make the most most of their opportunities. Like I said, one of the keys is for one of them to step up today. One of them needs to become the playmaker that this offense needs, step up and go out there and prove it to Coach Garlotta today.
Would be big for them to go ahead and do that. Of course, that guy and that shot right there, Alex Vallis, would be key. Get some running game going would definitely help out these two quarterbacks. Let's take a look at some of the numbers in this one. And, of course, the key right away, I think an old quarterback, you see this, Mike, that scoring for Georgetown has to go up a little bit.
The scoring for Georgetown has to go up, but it's been a problem all year long is the third down conversion rate. Only at 22%. They've been struggling all year long. And it also has to do with the fact that they're having a lot of first or second down and longs, and they're getting behind the sticks, and this offense just isn't good enough yet to really come out from those holes. So I think that third down conversion rate kind of says it all for me.
Yeah, and it's one of the things you pointed out in Emory, and we talked to Coach Garlotta about it, just putting themselves with little correctable mistakes, putting themselves behind the sticks.
Yeah, you can't beat yourself. Like I've said before, the opponent is doing a great job of trying to do that themselves, but you don't want to join in and be the reason why you lose a ball game because of the turnovers. And that's what has plagued Holy Cross, quite honestly. You saw the balance, but they constantly turn the ball over, and that's why they are in the situation they're in now.
And, of course, Holy Cross, if you're not familiar, Georgetown with some quarterback woes. Holy Cross in the same boat. They've ended up playing 4 quarterbacks so far this year. It has not been a great year for Tom Gilmore when it comes to keeping his signal callers healthy. He's hoping that can go ahead and get a break today as Jeff Wade comes back. Really, they're big backup behind Peter Pujols, their standout quarterback. They'll see if him being back today can lead to a win or whether Georgetown can take advantage and go ahead and get a victory to snap their 5-game winless streak. Let's go ahead and listen in to our national anthem here on the Hilltop.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. My Super Food.
Our national anthem here at Cooper Field as Georgetown gets ready to take on Holy Cross. For those of you watching our pregame festivities on Georgetown's Facebook page, we encourage you to go over to Campus Insiders to watch this game, as we can no longer bring you the broadcast of the game on Facebook, but you can catch the game in its entirety over at campusinsiders.com. Captains heading out onto the field. Of course, Tim Barnes leading them out there. Barnes, of course, in that sling along with David Akiri. And again, guys, an interesting game here, I think, when you look at it, the Hoyas, and it's big for them today, Mike, just going ahead and getting competent quarterback play. The guys have struggled as we've seen so far, but a little bit of that quarterback play can go a long way.
Well, it goes a long way for an offense that's struggling. If you have a guy that comes out, especially a young quarterback, a guy that comes out and has a big day for his offense, that's where you get guys to rally around them. When you have a young quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience and he struggles, the offense themselves kind of gets down on themselves thinking, hey, maybe we just don't have it today on offense. So it's very important for both of these quarterbacks to come out and have a big day for this Georgetown offense.
Hoyas will go ahead and get their first chance with the ball as Holy Cross defers. You also see Peter Pujols there. And Mike, we were able to see that you caught up with him a little bit before the game. What do you have to say? Obviously got to be disappointed that he's not getting to play out this year, one that started with so much promise.
Yeah, very disappointed. I got a chance to talk to Peter during the pregame, and he was a guy that when I was at Fordham, you could just tell he was going to be the face of this league, this Patriot League, and be the guy that kind of leads Holy Cross into the promised land almost. And he's very disappointed about how the injury happened and losing the season, but looking forward to coming back next year and kind of taking back the reins for this Holy Cross offense.
And again, we'll see what he can do. But again, really a run-pass threat in Pujols. Of course, you see what Georgetown has done against their opponents this year. And that's one of the things during this losing streak, Emory, despite the big loss to Lehigh, really they've been close games, the Hoyas. They haven't really gotten blown out in any of them.
Exactly, because their defense has been, quite honestly, one of the best in the Patriot League. You look at Bucknell as a great defensive football team, and you have to put Georgetown right there at number 2. And if their offense can just be average today, I think they have a great chance of winning.
Senior kicker Zane Wasp will go ahead and kick this one away for Holy Cross. The Hoyas sending back their duo. Got a few guys back there. And Ramon Lyons also joined back by their speedster, number 80, Michael Darius. Holy Cross in all white today with the purple helmets and purple numbers. The Hoyas in their navy blue jerseys with the silver pants and the silver helmets. And we are almost ready for football here on the Hilltop. Holy Cross and Georgetown underway at Cooper Field. And Darius going to field this one right outside his goal line as he looks for a seam. Holy Cross doing a good job to string it out. Darius going to be hit just short of the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds. So the Hoyas will start in okay field position as we take a look at our starting lineups. And Michael, anybody catch your eye there for this Hoyas starting lineup?
Well, Clay Norris getting the start. We didn't know coming in if Brock Johnson was going to get the start or if Clay was going to get the start. So obviously Coach Scarlatta saw something throughout the course of the week that gives Clay the nod. We're still going to see Brock Johnson throughout the course of the game, so I'm very interested right now to see how Clay does on this very first possession.
And also Tommy Jessen into the starting lineup for the injured Justin Harrell. Norris will hand it off. Vallis picking his way through. He's got some space, and he'll take it out for a 5-6 yard gain, and that's a great start for Georgetown.
Yeah, it's just a great way just to get the things going offensively. Just get that run game going and just a simple dive play and got you 7 yards.
Emory, your starters for Holy Cross.
Well, you look at this defensive line, like we talked about before, Cameron and Smith, but interested to see how these guys on the back end, Alim Muhammad and also Luke Ford, contribute to this defense as a whole.
Hoyas looking at a 2nd and 3 here. Need to get it out to the 29-yard line for first down. Williams and Hill, your outside receivers. Norris on the roll, looking, he's going to throw this one up just out of bounds, kind of threw it in the general direction of Jessen, and now Georgetown will be looking at 3rd down.
But that was a good play for Clay Norris there, throwing the football away instead of trying to force something and make it happen. Now it's a 3rd and manageable, it's a 3rd and 4 situation, and these are the kind of 3rd downs that Georgetown has to be in consistently throughout the course of the game if they're going to have success on offense.
Winston Jackson Jr. into the game as the Hoyas will go 4 wide. Of course, Jake Schweitzer, their tight end, with Matt Buckman still out with his shoulder and neck injury. After the hard count, handoff. Vallis up the middle, hit and stopped, and he'll only gain a yard, and it'll be time for the Hoyas to punt that one away.
It's a good job right there by Holy Cross, like we talked about in the open, just squeezing that outside, forcing Georgetown to go downhill. And they were able to get off the block and make a stop at the line of scrimmage, forcing the punt.
And we saw it throughout the course of that drive there that we can tell what Holy Cross's game plan is on defense now. They're going to come up, they're going to press the wide receivers, and they're going to force either Clay Norris or Brock Johnson to beat them. They're not going to let Alex Vallis beat them running the football. So, like we said, the quarterbacks need to step up and beat that man-to-man coverage.
Harry McCollum on to punt for Georgetown, having a very good year. Jake Wyzorek back deep for the Crusaders. McCollum takes a few steps out to his right and boots this one away, and it'll bounce, takes a Georgetown roll, and Wyzorek just gets away from it, and it'll roll dead at around the 25, 23-yard line. So that's where Holy Cross will scrimmage from. And Emory, you had a chance to catch up with as we see catch this one to get our starting lineups in, actually. We see what we got here, and, of course, Jake Wyzorek, top player.
And their offensive line, that's 5 seniors, that's 5 returning seniors. I was at the Albany game last year, and all those guys were juniors, and it showed itself this year how great they were from a continuity standpoint.
So Holy Cross will scrimmage from just inside their 25-yard line. Glad to have you with us. And Wade brings them out. Fakes the handoff, looking deep. He has a man wide open. That's going to be a long completion. Would have been a touchdown, but Brendan Flaherty, he falls down, but still a big chunk play for Holy Cross to start this one off.
And I love that play call there for Holy Cross. Did a nice play action fake. Wade sold the fake beautifully. And then Brendan Flaherty, he is the playmaker for this offense as a wide receiver. Doesn't have the yards there, but has the catches. He has 40 catches on the year. This is their big play guy. Put a great double move on the defensive back there. Got himself open, and Wade put it out there beautifully for him.
Handoff up the middle, bouncing to the outside, and a nice gain, still moving, and eventually brought down after a gain of 13 yards is Dominic Cozier.
That's just a great play right there. And as a runner, you want to run the ball right after a big passing play. It seems like everything eases up a little bit as they worry about the passing game again.
Defensive starters for Georgetown, Michael.
Yeah, I'm looking for the linebackers to have a big play, a big game today. Leo Lawfrey has to step up in that inside linebacker position, stop the run, and force Wade to throw the football down the field. 1st
and 10 as Holy Cross out of the pistol formation. Cozier still the deep back. Rob Shark, the offensive tackle, looking back. If he got to try to check the play. Out in the flat, catch, and a nice gain out for Darius Lacey. Give him 6.
And that's just a good job by Holy Cross. Just simple routes, a simple little out route. Wade took what the defense gave him, and now you got 2nd and short. Beautiful 6-yard completion, and that's how you get offenses into a rhythm.
And that was just great placement on that pass, too. He didn't put it inside where it can get picked off or batted away.
Call it 2nd and 4. Cozier still in the backfield. Of course, Holy Cross had injuries with their running backs as well. Daquan Walker was listed as the starter, but Cozier was expected to play the majority of the time. Wade rolling out, trying to find something. He'll be hit and brought down, knocked out of bounds. Hoya is looking for the strip as Apuzzi tried to pull that one loose. His way to come about 2 yards short of the sticks.
Yeah, and that was Apuzzi and Hunter Kislick there coming in, forcing the pressure and then tracking down Wade, getting the stop. Now it's a 3rd and short. The Georgetown defense needs to come up with a big play here and force a field goal attempt.
3rd and 1. And Holy Cross now with tight ends in the game. Cozier up the middle, spun down. He lunges forward at the last second. He may have got it there, but a good job by Georgetown to get into the backfield, but did they stop him in time?
Yeah, and that looked like Phil Novacki coming in, getting the pressure early, and coming up and getting a big play here. Phil Novacki just gets off the block, sees his guy, makes the tackle, and it looks like they're a little bit short here. So great stop there by this Georgetown offense. It looks like Holy Cross is going to go for it here. So now a really big opportunity for this Georgetown defense to come up and get this Holy Cross offense off the field with no points.
Yeah, it looks like Cozier actually lost a half yard. So Wade in the shotgun on 4th and short. Let's see where they go. Send a man in motion. That's Flaherty. Cozier up the middle and gets it easily as he has a gain of 4 on the play down to the 5-yard line. So even though they go shotgun, little misdirection, it opens up.
Well, it was interesting. The play before, they didn't block Phil Novacki. Now they get him blocked, and the result is what they wanted on the play before. But you see right there, just good inside run. Get him blocked enough to where you can run right inside, right behind them. Good job right there by Holy Cross.
And the design of that play is why I think it worked so well. Having Flaherty come in motion, you force those guys on the end of the line of scrimmage there for the defense to expand outwards. Gives you a little bit of extra space there in the middle.
Bunch formation to the left for Holy Cross. Cozier remains the running back. Boy, has everybody up on the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of territory to defend. Wade looking to throw. He'll step up. He's getting rushed. Kislick gets a hand on him. Can't bring him down. Wade comes forward. Ends up getting a positive gain on the play. Avoided 2 sacks.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I wanted to see Wade come out and use his legs a little bit. Like I said, he's not going to come out and break a 60, 70-yard run. That's not the kind of guy he is. But he has the ability here, just like we see. Steps up in the pocket, does a really nice job using his feet, breaks a tackle, and ends up getting a positive play for this Holy Cross offense.
Jefferson got a hand in there and ended up breaking that. So 2nd and goal from just inside the 5. Wade with the hard count. Has a wing. Boy, his jump. Question is, was Sawicki drawn off? It's going to be encroachment on the Hoyas, but
Offside. Defense. Number 79. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Mike, that's a little interesting, going hard count right there. Do the positives really outweigh the negatives in that situation?
I think so, because you have an offense like this where a little bit of extra room isn't a bad thing. So now you get a little bit closer, and now you can pound the football in there.
So that'll move it down half the distance to the 2.5, we'll say. Cozier gets the handoff, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Holy Cross. So the big play to Flaherty starts it off, and then the Crusaders pound away and put it in for 6.
We've seen 3 variations of the same type of play on this drive. You just saw right there, this time they bring the tight end back across the formation and lead the back into the hole, which is a perfect thing to do. Instead of moving the offensive lineman on the goal line, which invites penetration, you just bring an extra blocker. Lead blocker is going to power right in there for the touchdown.
Wasp on for the extra point, puts it through, and Holy Cross now with a 7-0 lead. So Georgetown was looking for the fast start. They don't get it. 3 and out, then Holy Cross comes right back and scores. So again, at this point, you kind of wonder, guys, is this, you don't want the breaking point. Obviously, it's been a team that's been full of stick-to-itiveness, but Holy Cross kind of landed that first blow.
They definitely landed the first blow, and if you're Holy Cross, you love seeing what Jeff Wade did on that first drive. Coming back from the injury, this is his first game back, was very confident out there, threw the football well, and then their offensive line just kind of imposed themselves down here at the goal line. So I don't think it's a point where you got to panic yet. It's still very early in the football game. What I want to see here, and if you're Coach Scarlatta and the defense for Georgetown, you'll want to see this offense put something together. Let the defense come out and get some time to rest and get some adjustments made. So the offense needs to come out right now and put together some type of drive.
And it's unique in the sense that Georgetown's defense has been down before, so that's not, foreign territory for them. They just have to make sure, like Mike said, their offense comes out and at least flip field position to where you're going to back up Holy Cross if you can't score, but ideally you want points up on the board.
So Holy Cross, the 7-0 lead, and we talked about the Hoyas special teams has been big this year when it comes to blocking kicks. Wouldn't mind a good return here. Let's see if Wasp gives them the chance to do it. His kick's going to push Darius back. He'll field it just outside his goal line. Looking for a seam, cuts it back. Maybe he has something here. Darius, he's to the 30-yard line. Can he get outside? Has one man to beat it. He's going to do it. Michael Darius goes all the way for Georgetown. Touchdown, Hoyas.
You talk about a guy that was really pushing it for the last 25 yards of that return. He was able to hit the corner, and it just became a foot race, and he outran the kicker for the touchdown. That's the score you want. But if your defense, you're like, oh my goodness, now we got to go right back out. But it's all good when you score a touchdown.
Yeah, it definitely gives the defense a little bit of a boost. And we said at the beginning, one of the keys was winning the special teams battle. This Georgetown special teams has been so good all year long, all the way around. This is exactly what Georgetown needed in response for that big drive from Holy Cross. Just a great job by Darius, seeing the lane, pressing the hole, and then bouncing it outside. And like you said, Emory, just a foot race at the end. Darius pulled it off. Big play for the Hoyas.
Kind of waiting for that piano to fall on his back, but it never came, and he kind of outran it and was able to gas it through. And it was interesting on that kickoff, you kind of saw it developing early.
Darmstadter puts it through for the first time today. Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo on the sidelines.
What I was hearing over that offensive sideline was a big push to be physical out front. And Coach Scarlatta mentioned earlier in the week that in order to take some pressure off of his offensive line and his QB was to really get that running game going. And it looks like mission is accomplished. Jeremy?
Thank you, Anna. Of course, that was the first kickoff return for the Hoyas since September 18th of 2010, Jeremy Moore versus Yale. So it's been a while since we've got one of those, but it came at a good time for Georgetown.
Yeah, much needed big play right there. And again, when you saw 2 guys free on the outside, you had to think that he had to see that. It was like, I got to get out to this corner. The question was he going to be able to get there? And he did, and ended up taking it to the end zone.
We saw his speed from the first time that he really touched the ball here at Georgetown, that long pass play against Columbia. Darius has speed, just a matter of getting him some chances, and they get him a chance there, and he makes it hurt for Holy Cross. So Ben Pretty on to kick this one off. Wise Zoric is your deep returner. Cross has a few guys in front of him. Booted away, high kick. Wise Zoric's going to field it. Just outside his 10, he looks for a seam. and he'll be banged down just across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, while Zork is a pretty good player, I know he's excited about playing today. His Pop Joe at home is watching this game, so I know he's excited to see him get out there and get on the return.
Yeah, you had a chance to talk to his dad. Came up into the booth earlier.
Yeah, Dad came up into the booth, told me about his Pop not being able to make it because of an illness, but he's watching this game, as everyone in the nation should be watching this game right now, and he's excited to see his son get out there and compete.
Well, Zork, part of a talented receiving corps for Holy Cross. Of course, you see the series record in this one. Georgetown actually has kind of dominated it lately, winning 4 of the last 6. Some of them in surprising fashion. Zork gets the quick screen out to the outside and able to vault forward across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down around the 32.
I like that play. And again, these openers we've seen from Holy Cross, albeit just 2, but there have been really good plays for this offense. Yeah, I think they're doing a great job right now play calling.
2nd and 5, we'll call it. Need to get it out to around the 37-yard line for a first down. Wade fakes the handoff, rolling with some pressure, and that's going to be high as he was intending it for Jordan Montgomery. And that time the Hoya pass rush makes the bad throw.
Yeah, Marquise Parrish just coming up, getting off his block and forcing Wade to fade back in the pocket a little bit on that rollout, forces the high throw. And now you got a long 3rd down, 3rd and 6. This is a perfect opportunity for Georgetown to get off the field, get some momentum going for their offense.
And this has been a situation where we've seen Georgetown thrive in. You see big number 34 at the top of your screen. Javion Butler is probably this time of the part of the series where he makes a play.
Well, he's got their pass rushers out there. Kislik, Novacki, the best they have. Wade looks him over with 3 receivers to his right. Back to throw, clean pocket over the middle and caught. Flaherty has first down yardage out across the 40.
Really nice job there by Wade stepping up into the pocket. Georgetown brought some pressure, but they didn't get it inside pressure. They did a little bit too much on the outside, forced a little bit too big of a pocket. Wade did a great job stepping up and finding Flaherty.
Flaherty, of course, a 2015 Patriot League first team selection. Started his career as a running back at Holy Cross. Handoff, reverse, coming back to Flaherty. He cuts up, breaks 1 tackle, but he'll be hit and stopped for a gain of 2, though Ramon Lyons had a chance to make that a big play, just couldn't do it.
You saw some running back skills right there, making that first guy miss, but good job by Georgetown perimeter defense stepping up and only limiting this play for a 2-yard gain.
I like what they're doing here, though. They're trying to get Flaherty the football, and we mentioned earlier, he's their playmaker. They need to get him the football, and they're finding different ways to do it throughout the course of this game so far early on.
His numbers down a bit this year. Pressure again. This will be caught. He'll be dropped by Flaherty. Had a step on Akiri, but couldn't bring it in.
And that was big Javion Butler coming up and just forcing the pressure. It's very hard for a quarterback to roll out and fade backwards to throw the football. Just a great job here. Javion Butler reading the play the whole way, and then Wade not being able to get enough on it. And then Flaherty, you got to catch those footballs as well. Turned his head a little bit too early on that one.
A few new receivers into the game for Holy Cross. Martin Dorsey out as they go 4 wide here. Wade. Boy, is showing blitz. They'll come. Still a clean pocket, though. Out in the flat. It'll be incomplete, so another drop pass by Holy Cross. This time, Jordan Montgomery probably has the first down if he hauls it in.
That has to frustrate you as a quarterback when you have a wide open guy, especially on a crosser running away from coverage. He catches that, he may still be running, but look at that offensive line. Just a great job getting protection up front for Wade, and you got to make that catch, man.
Difficult catch for him, but definitely a catchable football. I think Wade needs to put that football a little bit more out in front. He had plenty of time. The offensive line has done a great job so far today at creating a pocket for him.
A.J. Wells on to put it away. Blaze Brown back deep for the Hoyas. This is going to bounce and takes a Georgetown bounce, and Holy Cross player kind of let it go back. I think he forgot where he was, and the Hoyas will get pretty good field position on the short punt.
And this is what you want to see, the defense helping out the offense and the offense helping out the defense for Georgetown. This is probably the best 3 series we've seen from them as a team since they went on that 3-game winning streak. So this is a positive sight for Georgetown fans if you're watching this ball game, because the defense got to stop, offense put points up on the board, or special teams at least. But you want to see this offense now able to chew up some clock and get some positive yards strung together.
There's the positive play in Michael Darius' kickoff return, evening things up after a nice Holy Cross drive. Hoyas will now try to get their offense in gear. 4 wide receivers. Norris throws this one. It'll be completed. Good catch. Justin Hill had to double clutch it, but brings it in for a gain of 13.
And that was a great throw there by Clay Norris. He had that little sideline route and he had a little out route. He had to read the corner. What was the cornerback going to do? Was he going to come up or was he going to fade back? Clay Norris read it perfectly and threw an absolute dart to the sideline. And a beautiful throw. Good first down. Now let's see if they can keep this momentum rolling throughout the course of the drive.
Bermudez now into the game. Of course, Bermudez started the season really as a running back / fullback, now playing some tight end. Pitch out to Isaac Ellsworth, almost drops it, but brings it in and avoids disaster and gets 2 yards out of it.
Yeah, short side options are always tough because you don't have room as a running back to really make something happen. So first have to focus on catching the football, number 1, but you see right there, just a quick pitch. You want the quarterback to attack downhill just a little bit more so that end man on the line of scrimmage doesn't play you and the tailback. Good job corralling it and being able to not get a turnover.
So ball at the 45-yard line. Hoyas looking at a 2nd and 8. Norris thought about the quick screen. Now he rolls out, sets up a screen the other way, and upended by a nice tackle is Alex Vallis. Coming up from the secondary to knock him off his pins was Nick McBeath.
Yeah, fantastic tackle there by Nick McBeath. Reading the screen right away, coming up, avoiding the offensive lineman coming out to make a block there, and putting an absolute fantastic tackle on Alex Vallis. I mean, he read this play perfectly, escaped the offensive lineman, and wrapped out Alex Vallis up. Beautiful tackle there by Nick McBeath.
Textbook right there. Head across, arms with his shoulders, and brought him down.
So 3rd and 6, Hoyas go 5 wide with Norris all by himself in the backfield. A little bit of pressure, eludes it, throws this one incomplete, was looking for Williams, some contact, but the referees don't give the call, and Georgetown have to punt this one away, we think.
Yeah, you never know with Coach Scarlatta. You know, it's at the point that maybe it's not at the point in the game where he starts risking things a little bit early. His defense is playing well. They got a little bit of momentum. But that play in particular, Clay Norris, he can't force the football there. His guy, whether it was pass interference or not, was covered up very tightly. Clay Norris forced that football in there a little bit, and that's where you see mistakes happen, and that's what you don't want to see Clay Norris do.
For Georgetown, is now number 71.
So I believe we have a player checking in, an eligible number. So McCollum on to kick, 42-yard average on the season. So 4th and 6. Brennan Sawicki changing jerseys. Don't know if that was a ripped jersey. The way he plays could have been. Kicked away. High one, but a little short. Wyzork's going to call for the fair catch at his 15-yard line. So Hoyas split field position, and Holy Cross will start deep in their own territory. Guys, right now, that such a big play for Georgetown on that special teams kickoff return. And again, sometimes it's just about getting your playmakers the ball, and they're able to do it that time.
Yeah, it was definitely a big play for Georgetown, something that they desperately needed. You could see, right away that the momentum was going in Holy Cross's favor. And then they came out with that beautiful, beautiful return, got a touchdown off of it, and now they flipped fields as well. That was the big thing that touchdown did, and that offense did on that last drive.
Wide spacing for the wide receivers, a bunch, but way out, a lot of room to maneuver. They'll hand it off. They'll fake the handoff, throw this one deep. Again, looking for Flaherty, and this time he'll catch it, and he might go all the way. Flaherty inside the 20-yard line. He will step out of bounds on a nice play by Williamson to get back down there, but he's out at the 5-yard line. And again, Brendan Flaherty comes up large in the passing game.
That was a great throw. I mean, he put a lot of air underneath it to where I thought Jelani Williamson would have caught up and made a play on it, but just a great job of tracking the football, number 1, by Flaherty, and a great running catch. Nearly got him to the end zone, but you love, again, these openers are big time right now for Holy Cross.
The play calling right now for Holy Cross has been fantastic.
They'll hand this one off. Kozier, he's hit by Yankovic and a few others as he gets about a half a yard on the play. But yeah, you talk about it. And that was an interesting formation there as they kind of had that big wide split. A lot of room to cover for the Hoyas.
Yeah, and that's what makes Holy Cross's offense so hard to stop. When they're rolling, they have so many different looks that they're going to throw at you, whether it be in the shotgun, under center, putting Flaherty out wide, in the slot. They have so many different things that they do well. When they're rolling, they're extremely hard to stop.
Wyzork and Flaherty will go out together to the left. Two tight ends to the right. Fumbled snap still on the ground, and good job by Wade to pull it in as Kislik was coming hard looking for the fumble recovery.
That would have been a disaster for Holy Cross, and one where coaches tend to throw headsets after stuff like that happens. But good job being alert by Jeff Wade and falling on that football. But when you have an offensive line like they do, 5 seniors up front, you're going to get a lot of good protection. You're going to get a lot of positive things happen. So it's no surprise that their offense is able to move the football and get big plays in chunks in this ballgame so far.
Shark, Piker, Murray, Griffin, and Hudgens, those 5 seniors up front looking to pave the way. Daquan Walker now into the game. Remember, he's been dealing with some injuries himself. Let's see if they go to him. They will not. Looking for the fade on this one against Williamson. It'll be caught for a touchdown, and going up to get it, Martin Dorsey puts Holy Cross on the board once again.
And that was a beautiful, beautiful textbook throw in the back of the end zone. Beautiful fade ball there by Jeff Wade. Great job by the wide receiver going up, catching it at a tie point. But you want to see Williamson there get his head turned around a little bit. That ball was in the air for a long time. I think he could have gotten his head turned around just a little bit faster and made a better play on the football. But a great job there by the Holy Cross offense.
That's a good point. I thought he was in great position to make a play on the ball. He was looking sort of at that direction, just didn't jump up. It's almost like he stayed in phase and wanted to play the corner, or play the receiver instead of the ball. And you see right there, he's looking back at it and goes directly to the receiver and try to bat it down. I thought that was an interceptable ball that he could have at least made a play on. But like you said, good job throwing it back toward the corner of the end zone. And Jeff Wade has been playing some good balls so far in this game.
And you look at the dimensions there. Martin Dorsey, the tallest of the wide receivers for Holy Cross. Jelani Williamson, the shortest of the corners for Georgetown. Tom Gilmore's coaching staff finding a matchup they liked.
And they've been finding it all day so far. Their offensive play calling has been fantastic. They're finding the matchups that they like on offense, whether it be with Flaherty, whether it be running the football. They're doing a very good job so far at mixing things up, getting the matchups that they want, and then the kids out there are doing a great job so far at executing when they have something open.
Holy Cross comes into this one, third in the Patriot League in passing offense behind Lehigh and Lafayette. Of course, Hoyas coming to this year, into this matchup, 6th in the PL in pass defense. Of course, scoring defense for the Hoyas is big. Last meeting, of course, a bit of a surprise last year. Holy Cross kind of routed Georgetown after the Hoyas had pulled off 2 surprising wins of their own in the previous 2 games.
Last year's Holy Cross team went on a run late in the season, and they were playing red hot when Georgetown met them on the 21st last year. So this season, different story, but same rules apply. Georgetown has to play great defense. Holy Cross has to continue to be consistent on offense if they want to win this game.
Let's see what Holy Cross decides to do here on this kickoff after Darius took the last one back. He's again back deep. Again, Darius is going to let this one bounce and ends up getting out of the end zone, so kind of checks up, and a good kick by Zane Wasp to keep it away from the dangerous return man, as the Hoyas will have to scrimmage from their 25.
Risky play there by Darius, though. That ball didn't have as much carry as I think he might have thought that it did. That ball very easily could have bounced, checked up right at the 1, and they would have had a big problem there.
I'm willing to bet Darius is still catching his breath from that kickoff return, too. He didn't want to take that one back either, you know.
So Hoyas, interestingly, will start from the left hash. Maybe Georgetown has something up their sleeves. They send a bunch to the right. 3 receivers there. Vallish, your running back in the backfield. Williams, the lone receiver to the left of Clay Norris. Norris, quick pass. Williams makes the catch and is run out of bounds across the 30-yard line, so gain of 6 on the play.
I think that's one of Georgetown's best formations, in my opinion, because I think this is what they do well. They can still be a power team out of that set, still get their running game going, and these short passes like we just saw in that particular play is something that complements their running game as well.
Saw last year when ISO him up, had a big catch against Fordham on that long pass that layout dive from Kyle Nolan to Williams. Norris going to pull it down. Now he'll use his legs and get the first down out across the 35-yard line up to the 40. So Clay Norris, little improvisation there, Mike, but looked good.
It was great. It was great improvisation, but it was great patience there by Clay Norris. He went through his reads. He didn't just take the ball, drop back, and take off immediately. He went through his reads there, and as we see, does a nice job here just finding a lane in the middle. Offensive line did a good job at giving him a pocket. He did a nice job stepping up and getting that first down.
So moving the sticks for the Hoyas. They look at a 1st and 10. 2 deep safeties for Holy Cross. Seen a lot of that look so far today. Catch by Hill as he was set in one spot, had to go diving forward, but a flag will go down, and likely this will be holding
Offense.
as it is against
number
the Hoyas.
65, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, Dwayne Cameron came in there on an inside stunt and nearly had the sack, and they had no choice but to grab him across his chest. You're going to see right here on the replay, he just came bursting through. Nice inside move, and if you didn't hold right there, it would have been lights out for the QB.
And these are the kind of things, talking to Coach Scarlett at the beginning during pregame, that he's been really trying to get his offense to get away from it. Is these now it's 1st and 20. These are the kind of drives that the offense just isn't quite there to get themselves out of.
Michael McFarland picks up that penalty, so 1st and 20 is Norris. Surveys this Holy Cross defense, fakes the handoff, quick screen. Williams makes the catch, got some space as he cuts it back. Williams almost takes it to the house as he gets caught by a foot going by. Big gain, though, still of around 13 yards to cut this deficit down a bit.
And that was a great block there by Nick James, getting out late, giving him the block that he needed to kind of get back in the middle of the field here. We'll see Nick James coming at the top of the screen, coming out, getting his eyes on his guy, making a big block there, letting him break free, and almost broke it there.
See, Williams has that tall speed, so he was getting ready to open up that stride in a minute. It's a good save, touchdown save and tackle right there by Holy Cross.
2nd and 7 now, so the Hoyas cut down that big yardage deficit they were facing. That is incomplete, but a flag will come in, and the cornerback can't believe it, as it'll be a flag on corner Stephen Martinez against Williams.
That's
he was clearly early
Defense,
right there for
number
that
8.
play, but
Ball be placed
up
in the
front
spot
right
of the
now,
foul.
Georgetown is having some
Automatic
issues
first down.
blocking these inside stunts. Those 2 defensive ends got in pretty quickly, and they were able to get that football out quick, but he definitely got there a little bit too early to knock that ball away.
But guys, we just talked about, it was 1st and 20, and now it's 1st and 10. These are the kind of things that this Georgetown offense needs to happen. They just got out of a big hole. Now they need to finish the drive.
So spot foul on that one. We'll move it to the 48, a 1st and 10 for the Hoyas. Fake the handoff to Vallis. Norris, pump fake, now he'll throw it, looking for Vallis, who makes the catch, still on his feet. Again, nice cutback by Alex Vallis, leaps the man and taken all the way down to the 30-yard line. Vallis looked like a guy surfing in on a wave as he came to the ground.
Great individual effort by Alex Vallis there. Great job by Clay Norris getting him the football. Fantastic job by Alex Vallis catching the ball, and not an easy catch either. Great job here by Clay getting out of the pocket, extending the play, and then Alex Vallis does the rest. Does a fantastic job there, avoiding the guys, and then doing that little surfboard action there that you had going on.
Get that guy helmet sticker, man. That was a heck of a play.
1st and 10 at the 30. Holy Cross rolls up one corner, still some space for Williams to work. Norris looking out in the flat for Jess, and that's incomplete. And Kami thought about reaching back for a second, then I think thought better of it. They might end up popping the ball up in the air.
And you saw in the previous play, and this is where those inside stunts could hurt you, because the last 3 plays they broke inside, they were able to affect the pocket. This time you saw Norris get outside, use that against him, and he had no contain, and he was able to complete the pass.
So as we roll close to the end of the first quarter, Hoyas in scoring position here. 2nd and 10. Vallis still in the game. Bermudez looks back. Handed off. Vallis cuts back, spin move. He's hit by 2 linemen at the line of scrimmage and stopped for a minimal gain.
It's 3rd and long here for Georgetown. You may see that deep over route, because right now what you're seeing from Holy Cross, they've gone away from that 2 safety look. Depends on what we see here on third and long.
And this is a tough spot if you're Georgetown's offense, because your offensive line hasn't done a great job the last couple of weeks at blocking and giving the quarterback time to throw the football. These third and long situations are typically when you see the defense bring the house. They come up, bring pressure, play man-to-man on the outside, and force you to make a really good throw.
So 1 second separates the game and the play clock, and Hoya's going to let this one run out. So they will face their third down on the other side of the field. Holy Cross up on Georgetown, 14-7. Let's take a break. You're watching it here on Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
In the Patriot League, our playbooks look a little different. Here, we play to win on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. A competitive athletic experience with high academic standards. Today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders. That's the Patriot League.
Welcome back to Cooper Field. Georgetown leading Holy Cross, or trailing Holy Cross, I should say, 14-7 as they face a big third down here. 3rd and 11. Hoyas need to take it down inside the 20-yard line for a first down. Norris looking over the Holy Cross D, has receivers each way, 2 of them, and he's joined in the backfield by Vallis. Quarterback run by Norris, picking his way through. He'll be stood up around the 30-yard line just across. Well short decision time for Rob Scarlatta. Time for us to send it down to Ariana Tarullo.
Assistant coach Kevin Doherty and the Georgetown football team are really starting to build a new culture on special teams, and it's starting to show out on the field. The Hoyas lead all teams in both FBS and FCS in blocked punts, and Coach Doherty really stressed how imperative it is for his guys to buy into that all-in mentality. One moment that was really significant for him, he said, was when he had starters on offense and defense approaching him looking to contribute on special teams. He said that really reinforced that all-in mentality. Guys.
And a timeout will be called. And I'll have to think about this now. I think someone wasn't out there on the field in time. And there's nothing worse than that. I always feel like having to take a timeout when getting ready to set up a field goal.
Especially right out of a break there, coming out of the first quarter. It's never something you want if you're a head coach, having to waste a timeout like that. But an interesting decision there on third down, what they did with that play call. Having to run the football, it was almost like Coach Scarlatta was just trying to set up for the field goal. A little bit of a conservative play call. You'd like to see the way that offense was moving the football a little bit. You'd like to see maybe a little bit more of aggressive play call and try and get 7 points instead of 3.
Quick look at our scoring in the first half. Cozier took it up the middle for Holy Cross, able to put it in. But then the Hoyas would answer right back. Michael Darius going deep off the kickoff all the way back for a touchdown to get Georgetown back into the game. And again, they would tie the score up. Holy Cross would then be able to go ahead and get a touchdown to put them back in the lead. Darmstadter, 45-yard field goal, put down long enough, and it's going to bounce over and good. What a kick. Darmstadter, he hit it low, but he gets just enough as it skids over the crossbar, and with that, he is your all-time leader in field goals made at Georgetown with 25. He breaks his tie with Anthony DeGuzman from 1989 to 92, and I tell you what a way to do it. That'll be what he'll always remember.
Style points count, man. Like, I broke the record by bouncing it off the crossbar. He's showing everybody now how he did it.
You could win a little bit if you could get that trick shot.
Oh my goodness!
Belongs in one of those trick shot pool videos you used to see on ESPN.
College kickers, man. You got to love him.
Darmstadter puts it through, and again on the season so far, guys, he was 2 of 4 from 40 to 49. So not a bad percentage, and able to put that one through, and that's big to get points out of that drive.
Yeah, and we talked about it the very first week that we were out here, how important Darmstadter was to this team. Coming out and being able to just put up points anytime they're in that 45-yard range. Darmstadter is a pretty darn good kicker from that range and in. So a big weapon for this Georgetown team, and a big drive there for that offense, coming out and getting 3 points.
So Pretty on to boot it away. Wyzorek, the deep man. Nice kick, going to drive Wyzorek back inside his goal line, but he'll bring it out. Got some space on the sidelines. He'll be hit and knocked out of bounds as he was knocked out by Georgetown defensive back Blaze Brown as they'll take it out across the 25-yard line. That's where Holy Cross will start.
And if you're the safeties for Georgetown, you have to be alert because we've seen Holy Cross come out and take 2 deep shots on openers. So you have to be adjusted to where these receivers are aligned and what's going on deep on your end. Can't keep your eyes in the backfield. Keep your eyes on your luggage, as they like to say.
Hasn't happened a lot. Georgetown doesn't give up that many big plays, but it's happened today. Brendan Flaherty has burned them twice. Now audible here for Jeff Wade. Back today after an absence due to injury. That one incomplete and might have had a better chance for the Georgetown player to get it as the wide receiver Lacey slipped. Ramon Lyons made a break.
Yeah, and not only was that 3 points big for the team, the morale and the offense themselves, but it gave the defense a lot of time to sit on the sideline, figure some things out, make some adjustments after that long drive that Holy Cross had. So now you're going to see the defense hopefully come out with a little bit something different and something that's going to keep Holy Cross guessing.
Holy Cross slowing the pace. They're 3-6 overall, 1-3 in the Patriot League. Little nice option play and goes up the middle, and that one to the new era of football, guys. That's definitely a different one, Emory.
Yeah, that's like a freeze option where they were trying to get that outside man to commit early and really try to run it back inside, but good job by Georgetown staying home and not taking the cheese, so to speak, and falling for that freeze option. We've seen that play work for, I want to say Wisconsin ran it against LSU, and it was a big play.
Oh, your film study, I know you've seen that plenty of times. You break it down best of any of us. 3rd and 8, we'll call it. Need to get it out to the 36-yard line. Wade looking to his left. A little bit of pressure. Gets through one man, but he can't get through the second as Kislick will get his legs and bring him down 2 or 3 yards short of the sticks.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, guys. They came out, made adjustments on defense, got the quick 3 and out. Exactly what this Georgetown team needed. Their offense has a little bit of momentum. They got something going a little bit on offense. Now they're getting the ball right back.
Good job right there, just playing contained defense. Gap sound, making sure you don't get past the quarterback Jeff Wade and being able to corral him and put him on the ground. And that was Washington versus Stanford where they ran the freeze option. I'm sorry.
We'll forgive you.
High kick. Fair catch called for, hits off someone, and they're going to say it didn't hit off a Hoya, or may have hit off a Holy Cross player first, as that was down there. Patrick Finnegan, the wide receiver. Ball came awfully close to hitting him, but the referee says no, and Hoyas get the ball. Guys, you see the special teams. They've been extremely special so far this year.
And that's the key to the success that they've had so far this year. Not so much in the month of October, but in September, even in October a little bit, their special teams was still solid. They do a great job at blocking kicks, whether it be field goals or punts, and now we see that they just returned a touchdown on the kickoff. Their special teams has been solid all year long, and something Coach Scarlotta has been extremely pleased about from the very beginning of the season.
And again, you saw that 4 block punts led all of Division I, not just FCS, but all of D1. That's big time.
And it's been big keeping them in the games where they've struggled on offense, but really, like we talked about, only Lehigh blew them out this season. All the other games they've been in. Ellsworth going to take this one up the middle. He'll be banged down by a few Crusaders after a gain of 1.
And that's the byproduct, I think, of going up against a very good offensive line. Your defensive line is battle-tested because each day in practice they're going up against one of the best in the Patriot League. And you see this right here with Holy Cross just doing a great job getting off blocks and stonewalling the inside running game.
Just got to give some credit back to the special teams. Kevin Doherty, of course, we talked to him, friends of Jacqueline a couple weeks ago. But, again, he's their special teams coordinator. His crew have been doing an excellent job. So Norris Winston Jackson in the game as a wide receiver. Clay looking over the middle. That'll be completed. What a catch there by Brandon Williams. Those big mitts able to grab that one and give at least the Hoyas a positive game.
And that was a big play for me, watching the play from the booth here. For Clay Norris, he had two guys streaking down the field there. Maybe we're not going to see it on this clip, but he had two guys down the field, and it looked like on the sideline he might have been able to fit the football in there, but the safety was flying over fast. Probably would have ended up in an interception. He did a great job there, not forcing the football, checking it down, and getting some positive yardage.
And Norris with 5 picks on the season, didn't want to add one to it. So a 3rd and 4. Norris going to use his feet up the middle, and he's going to be stopped 2 yards short of the sticks. Tried for the quarterback draw, and it did not work.
And I don't mind that decision right there because it was a package play where they had the quick screen set up, but also if not, you can take it and run the quarterback draw. And he didn't want to force a throw, saw the corner squeezing pretty closely, and decided just to get positive yards, like Mike said. And now you're punting the football, but that was just a good, smart play right there by Norris.
So the Hoyas can't move the sticks, and they'll have to punt it away. And Wyzorek likely will get a chance to return this one. A lot of space. Holy Cross maybe sending some pressure here. It's Coach Tom Gilmore. He's right at the line of scrimmage watching this one intently. McCollum's going to kick it away. Ends up kind of hanging up there in the air. Wyzork's going to make the catch, and he will stay on his feet, and then he's brought down back at the 20-yard line. And, guys, I don't know about you, but that ball kind of looked like it was coming down, and then it just stopped in the air and let the Hoyas get down the field.
One of the tougher punts to field, man. When you don't get a clean turnover on a punt, it's impossible to judge it, and you're still trying to decide whether or not, do I fair catch? Do I take it and return it? Me, personally, you return every punt. There's no fair catch involved. So, but that's always tough to do when you see the ball spinning kind of weird.
Yeah, and I think you said it perfectly there. Watching from the booth, we have that high angle. It actually looked like it hit its apex and just fell straight down. So very hard to see whether you're going to fair catch that football or not.
Wade going to change the play, and now whistles will blow. Sideline warning, it looks like.
Against Holy Cross. No yardage.
Just
a warning.
Is an interesting call in the sense that it looked like, and I didn't see the play clock, but kind of let them regroup themselves as Wade was clearly trying to audible something. Wade's going to roll right. Out in the flat, Butler almost picks it off. He read it like a book, Javion Butler.
Yeah, you said it best right there. He read it like a book. He saw exactly what was happening, saw the guy get to the flat early, saw Wade turn his shoulders, get ready to throw the football, and Javion Butler just out of his reach would have taken that one to the house. That would have been a big play for the Hoyas defense, but a great job there by Javion Butler, reading the play like a book and making the play.
I mean, he made a beeline to the flat. He took a great angle to that football. That's just an excellent job for a guy that's been playing great all season long.
Hoyas showing a little bit of movement now. Both sides move, so this will be interesting.
False start. Offense, number 66.
They'll go ahead and call that one on Nick Piker, the senior guard out of Westmont, Illinois. A couple Hoyas moved as well, but kind of looked like it was simultaneous, at least up here in the booth.
And this is where I want to see Georgetown's defense get a little aggressive. They play a lot of cover 4 off coverage defense. I want to see them get a little bit aggressive here. Don't just sit back and let them chip away at you. Get aggressive, make some plays, and it's 2nd and long here. You can force it a 3rd and long as well.
On that replay, looks like Brian Jefferson may have moved first. Now a flag will go down. Are they going to blow this one dead? They're going to let them play. I thought I heard a whistle. So that's going to get out to Nicolason, and it's going to be a loss, but it'll be overturned by the fact the Hoyas jumped offside on another Jeff Wade hard count.
Yeah, it looked like Hunter Kislick right there, just anticipating the snap, jumped offside pretty quickly. And it was on that previous play. It looked like Javion Butler was going to be blitzing off the edge. To your point, Mike, they were trying to bring some pressure. Then he backed off a little bit on this one, and the guys just getting extra aggressive, extra antsy, trying to make a play and jump offside. It's going to be up at the top of your screen right there. Hunter Kislick just got in the neutral zone. And they had a great play call, by the way, on that particular play. But just a good open field tackle by Georgetown.
So after all that, we're back to the same point we were, dueling 5-yard penalties on the Crusaders and Hoyas. So a 2nd and 10 as Wade checking over this Georgetown defense. Fakes it one way, he's going to roll the other. gets rid of it and completed to Wyzorek right around the sticks, and he'll push forward still on his feet, eventually ridden out of bounds by Butler, but he has first down yardage.
I like what they're doing here, moving Wade out of the pocket. They're not letting him just sit back there. Now, the offensive line has done a great job today at giving him time and protection, but this was actually kind of interesting. He pumped to the sideline there, and I looked down, and I didn't see anybody. I couldn't tell who he was pumping to, but nonetheless, a very nice job at getting to the side, getting his shoulders turned around, and delivering a good throw.
Phantom pump fake. This time he'll get it out to Nicolason, and he'll push forward for first down yardage. And again, a little tricky looking play there, but it's effective as he's very close to the sticks and will have first down yardage.
And what they're doing now is using Georgetown's aggressiveness against them with the pump fakes and the motions and the movements. And at this point, I will probably expect maybe a run down the middle of the field or a deep shot down the middle of the field, because they're playing east and west now, and they're going to calm that pressure a little bit before they get back to what they want to do offensively.
Like they dropped the man back, trying to set up a look like a screen, and Nicolason just went right down the middle and gets 10. Wade under center for one of the few times today, and he'll fake the handoff, deep drop as he's looking to unload one, goes down the sidelines, has his step, and that is going to be complete all the way down inside the 10-yard line, pulled out at the last second, but they're going to say this is a completion for Holy Cross as they go deep again, this time to Jordan Montgomery. The Crusaders, big plays today in the passing game.
And that was Jelani Williamson again, just getting beat. He's 2 plays in a row now that we've seen him. He's in position. Something's happening where he's just not getting his head turned around fast enough.
Cozier quickly up the middle. Lockery tackles him and getting into the end zone on that play for the touchdown for Holy Cross, lunging across at the last second. I believe that was Cozier. Now a player is down and injured, and I believe that is Cozier. So he gets the touchdown as he lunges forward, and I don't know if it was the tackle by Lockery or that last lunge that hurt him, but he's definitely not feeling too good right now.
Yeah, 175. He tried to stretch it out. I think he maybe fell on the football or fell awkwardly on the ground, but yeah, it looks like he has the wind knocked out of him on that one. But great second effort to get that touchdown.
So in a year really where the big play hasn't hurt the Hoyas defensively, Holy Cross has been able to go ahead and get it. I mean, really, even that Lehigh game a few weeks ago, Emory, it wasn't so much big plays. It was just a combination of a well-oiled machine kind of picking the Hoyas apart.
And when you combine that with the fact that they couldn't get anything done offensively, and you putting these guys back on the short field, and you're able to get those chunk plays like they were, and just on that last big pass play, like Mike said, Williamson was in position to make the play, and you almost sort of felt as though he allowed himself to get posted up on that reception where he could have came over top and knocked the ball away. But I do think you're seeing good sound fundamental defense from Georgetown, but Holy Cross is just out executing Georgetown right now.
Cozier going to run off after the touchdown, so don't know if he's feeling good, but he's going to make it look like he is, as Holy Cross now with the 20-10 lead with the extra point pending as Wasp will come on.
That's one of the worst feelings when the wind gets knocked out. You think you die, and then all of a sudden you're fine.
It's been a long time since I experienced that, but it is a terrible feeling. Kick up by Wasp. He is just inside the right upright, and again, Holy Cross answers back to take an 11-point lead. So it's been the Holy Cross offense, and the big plays of the Holy Cross offense have been the story so far.
And I think Emory said it best. It's as much as I love what Holy Cross has been doing so far on offense today and making the big plays down the field, I think they're executing better. Georgetown, every big play that we've seen outside of a couple, they just haven't been there.
Let's send it down to our Anna Tarullo.
Listening in on that Georgetown offensive sideline over there, I heard the coach just mention that the QB was getting a little bit of more time today. He really stressed to his guys to utilize this time to their advantage. Don't be in a rush. Take your time and run your routes, guys.
Thank you much, Anna. So the Hoyas, again, will be looking to answer back. And I think, guys, it seems to be important at this point that Georgetown can't let this thing get too far out from them because of the fact their offense just isn't potent enough to kind of score in a shootout.
Yeah, again, you're only down 2 plays, so you have to just remember, it's about taking small bites of the apple. Don't try to eat all at once. And they have had some success moving the football, so it's not like they can't get it done. They just have to get it done. I think this is a big drive of the first half.
And I tell you what's interesting that I just kind of thought about is we haven't seen Brock Johnson yet. So Coach Scarlatta's in an interesting spot where now they find themselves down 11 points. Do you bring in Brock Johnson or do you stick with Clay Norris?
Lyons going to return this one. He gets banged, still on his feet somehow. A car wreck collision there, and Lyons still moving forward all the way out. I think they're going to say his forward progress was stopped at the 27-yard line, but how he stayed on his feet, I'll never know.
Yeah, that hurt me up here.
Yeah, and you heard the crowd here, too. Yeah. I think it hurt the crowd there. You heard that little ooh action from the crowd. So great job there, staying on his feet and getting those extra 6 or 7 yards.
I thought he had a lane right there, but they closed that lane pretty quickly.
And Damian Baker, the guy who made the hit, is the one worse for wear as he gets helped off the field by a trainer on his own power, but Lyons kind of trotted off like a little bee sting or something.
He's going to be hurting tomorrow.
And you got to give Lyons credit on that, too, because he doesn't do it that often. He's kind of the off guy, so the fact he didn't fumble on that play, really, really a good job by Ramon Lyons. So Norris looks over to the sidelines as they'll audible out of the play they were in. Tight end of the game, he's Schweitzer. McLaughlin in as well. They'll hand it to him. Actually fake the handoff as Norris goes up the middle for a gain of 2.
I like what they're doing with the quarterback run game. It's almost a little bit like the offense that we saw with Tim Barnes in the game. Using the quarterback to do different things, running the football, it creates space in that middle of the field, and that's what Georgetown's kind of looking to do, and they've had some success with it.
And that's what they say, and we talked to Coach Scarlatta and said, look, these guys are recruited, the same skill set. That's what we're looking for. So they should be able to do very similar things, and we've seen Norris today try to use his legs to help augment his passing game. Over the middle, and no flag goes down. Looks like the DB got there a little bit early, but the referees say it was a clean play.
Yeah, I think they got away with one on that one. I think that was Chase Stratton getting in a little bit early, but ultimately no flag on the play, and now a big third down for this Georgetown offense. And we see it here, just a quick pass game. Looked like maybe he got there just a touch early, but he ultimately broke up the play, and now we see a long 3rd and 7 for this Georgetown offense. They need to capitalize here.
Stratton, the junior out of Georgia, so Hoyas need to take it out to the 38-yard line for a first down. 3 receivers one way, 1 the other. That's Williams. Norris avoids the first rushers, got some space. He's going to take off and try and run with it. Runs out of bounds, and he's going to be very close to the sticks, and at least according to Rob Scarlatta, he's got first down yardage.
It's a smart play right there because they try to run the scramble drill type situation where you want guys to go downfield, one guy to get himself open underneath, but no one was able to move, and he did the right thing by taking it and running it for the first down.
Yeah, really nice job here. Just taking what the defense gave him. He felt pressure early, did a great job stepping up in the pocket and then running to get that first down. Great job there by Clay Norris, and now they need to get a little bit moving here. They finally got that 3rd down conversion that they needed.
Definitely seeing a more decisive Clay Norris today, making quicker decisions, and that's big. Looking down the sidelines for Williams. He makes the catch, but I think he stepped out of bounds, and this one's probably coming back.
Well, this will be an interesting call because it looked like he got pushed out of bounds. So it's very interesting to see what the referee's going to decide on this one.
And then reestablished himself pretty quickly, ran a few steps before jumping up and getting that football. Now, was it a clear-cut pass interference? Because he did reestablish and get back in bounds pretty quickly.
Good catch, and let's see what they call.
It's another good throw.
Very good throw by Clay Norris there. Put it in a perfect spot.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Pass interference. Defense, number 26. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Interesting, because it looked like he did get a foot down.
It certainly looked like from the booth here. Now, we have a lot of guys in the way, but it looked like I saw a foot get down, clear possession. But ultimately, hey, that's still 15 yards that they got.
So the pass interference penalty works to the Hoyas' advantage as they take it across the 50 on this very important drive. 7:20 left to go in the half. Norris throws it out, swing pass to McLaughlin's, got some space, and he'll get it down near the 40-yard line. He steps out at the 41. but another positive gain for Georgetown.
And again, that was a great job there by Clay Norris, taking what the defense gave him. They tried to get that little play action pump, have the corner bite up, wheel route behind him. The corner stayed back. He dumped it off, got positive yardage. Clay Norris has been good so far on these last couple of drives.
You almost have to fight the temptation to go deep down the field on that play and almost throw it automatically. That was a good job.
2nd and 4. Norris will hand it off to Vallis. That's not going to work as a blitz was coming and they swarm him under. And it also looks like a Georgetown offensive lineman is down.
Yeah, that was Ryan Brady just coming in. You said it right there. They put a blitz on in the middle. Perfect play call, and unfortunate for the Georgetown offense there.
I really like how Holy Cross defensive line has played all game long. We talk about the 2 defensive ends early in this game, but look how they collapsed that outside. There's really nowhere to go, and they open up a clear lane in that B gap for the blitzing backer to come through and make the stop. That was an excellent run blitz call, like you said, Mike.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Brady. Seeing the guard and the tackle pulling, he fit in right off of their backs, got in free. Great job there by Brady, just coming up and actually finishing the tackle as well.
So can't see exactly who is down, so we won't speculate. It's Nick Schweitzer, the freshman tackle. Of course, his brother Jake, the tight end for Georgetown, and kind of waved over pretty immediately. So we'll catch another replay on this. Was pulling around.
Friendly fire. You see it right there. His own teammate rolled up on his ankle. And that was a big offensive lineman, too.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see if you're Coach Scarlatti. You've been banged up on that offensive line all year long, and now you got to insert somebody else to go in there and make a play.
It's good to see Schweitzer walking off. See what the Hoyas do. We did see earlier Michael McFarland, I believe, was flexing out. Maybe he and Schweitzer splitting some time, so let's see if that's where they go.
And he's a big, legit 6'5", 295 freshman. That's an impressive prospect right there for Georgetown moving forward.
So Christian's going to be your right tackle, so he will kick out. So 3rd and 8 here. Hoyas need to get the ball down to the 37-yard line for a first down. Still just under 7 minutes to go, so a lot of time. We'll see what happens after this play. Fake the handoff. Norris just going to take it. He's going to have a big seam. He cuts it back and dives forward and gets the first down. Clay Norris, passing game hadn't worked that great, but the run game working great there.
And I talked about Clay Norris or Brock Johnson needing to step up and take over. These last couple of drives, we've seen Clay Norris come out and insert himself as the leader of this offense, playing extremely well these last couple of drives, doing a nice job moving around in the pocket and then using his legs instead of forcing the football downfield.
Smart decision right there, getting down, not taking that safety head on, but he wanted to, but he thought about it, got down pretty quickly.
A smart move.
Smart move.
Really nobody there. Thought he might cut it all the way back and have a chance as Vallis will go up the middle. He's hit after a gain of 1 and brought stop back as his forward progress was stopped. So really the run game has been on the legs of Clay Norris today.
And I think that's the thing I've been impressed the most with him in these last couple of drives is they haven't been able to run the football. He's the guy that's needed to make the throws, to make the decisions to run the football, to move the football down the field. He's been very impressive these last few drives.
And they're really taking advantage of those over-aggressive defensive ends of Holy Cross who are just flying up the field right now and just losing gap integrity.
2nd and 9. 5 wide receivers. Norris all by himself. He's going to take it and run again, and this time he'll lunge forward at the 20-yard line. Another solid tackle by Holy Cross as coming up was the middle linebacker, Kyle Young.
I'm not sure if that was a designed quarterback run or if he just kind of took off early there, and you like seeing him run the football and pick up positive yards, but you also don't. I don't know if designed quarterback runs are what you really want to see him doing right now. He's playing well. The last thing you want is for him to take a hit and get banged up.
Again, another 5 wide formation. A little confusion on the Georgetown sidelines. Let's see where Norris goes. A little movement up front by the Holy Cross defensive front. Norris throws this one deep, and that is incomplete as he was looking for Williams down the sidelines, and a lot of contact and traffic there. Couldn't fit that one in.
Yeah, Stratton was closing pretty quick on that ball, and to where you thought the receiver may have peeked inside a bit and saw that safety screaming over and really just made an attempt to jump for it instead of running right through that route.
Yeah, and I don't hate the decision to throw that football, but what he needs to do is he put a little bit too much loft on it, which allowed the safety to come over and make a play. That's a football that you need to catch the football right away and put an absolute bullet in a spot that you think he's going to be at.
Like a third to first base type throw.
Absolutely.
Fake field goal here. Norris rolling out. He's got Schweitzer, and Schweitzer makes the catch all the way down the 10-yard line. So the tricky play by Rob Scarlatta works to perfection, and the Hoyas keep the drive going.
And that's the beauty of having your starting quarterback as the holder. You can do things like that. I love the play call by Coach Scarlatta there, trying to get his team fired up here. Big play for the Hoyas.
Because you didn't want to let this drive go to waste if you're Georgetown. This was a really good drive offensively. You see right there, nice fake and just throwing a nice soft catchable pass for the tight end.
And give Darmstadter credit. A lot of kickers don't want to throw that block. He got in the way. That's all Norris needed.
Absolutely. Without that block, Norris would have been in trouble. He would have had to fade super far back. I'm not sure he would have been able to make the throw.
Keeper, Norris, trying to get to the outside. He'll be hit and brought down across the 10, gain of maybe 2 on the play. Yeah, you see that a lot sometimes on these fake field goals. If the kicker just gets in the way, it works, and they don't. Credit Darmstadter for, again, a day he sets the field goal record, putting his body on the line and getting a big play.
Oh, he's selling all out today. He may even ask for some reps on offense after this.
So a 2-yard gain for Norris. He's gone the whole way at quarterback so far. 3 receivers to his left. Vallis in the backfield with him. Williams, the lone receiver, to the right. Norris looking left. McLaughlin goes down to make the catch. Made sure of it, but only ends up gaining 5 on the play, so just a little bit short.
And this is where you see arm strength being an issue, because that's a ball you probably want to drill in there and let the receiver make something happen after the catch. But not being able to drive that football kind of cost them a touchdown in that situation.
And this is a situation for Georgetown that you have to finish. You have to finish with a touchdown here. 3 points is not going to be enough, especially after that fake field goal.
And Rob Scarlatta has to run out there on the field and take a timeout. So important as they're looking at a 3rd and 3 here. Need to go ahead and get it in. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll see what happens when we get back. You're watching Georgetown and Holy Cross on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
In the Patriot League, our playbooks look a little different. Here, we play to win in the field, in the classroom, and in the community. A competitive athletic experience with high academic standards. Today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders. That's the Patriot League.
Welcome back to Cooper Field in Washington, D.C. Holy Cross with the 11-point lead, but the Hoyas looking for a touchdown. It'll be their first offensive touchdown of the game. Vallis is going to take it around left end, and he dives forward. Ball comes loose. What's the call? They'll say touchdown.
It's a good job right there by Vallis. That play was set up by what they've done all drive long as far as influence blocking those defensive linemen and taking advantage of their over-aggressiveness. It pays off with 6 here for the TD.
And that's exactly what you wanted if you're Rob Scarlatta. Come out, get the touchdown. You went for the big play for that with that fake field goal. Now you came out, you finished with 2.5 minutes left in the half here. That is a big play for the Hoyas.
Norris puts it down. Darmstadter puts it through, and it is good. And the lead is now down to 4. Georgetown scores on the Vallis run around the end. Looks like he got hit near the goal line and kind of a late signal by the referee, but goes Georgetown's way. And this is big, as you guys said, to kind of cut this down to a 1-score game and really get themselves right back in. Now the question is, the defense has to come up big because Holy Cross gets the ball back to start the second half.
They get the ball back to start the second half, and they've already shown that they can throw the football down the field. 2.5 minutes in college offense like this is a long time. The defense has to come out and not allow Holy Cross to put any points up on the board.
And this was a very long drive by Georgetown. I want to say over a 7-minute drive they went on, something we haven't seen from them all season long. And so kudos to Coach Scarlotta getting these guys ready, getting these guys amped up and ready to play. And those adjustments they made on the sideline, if you're Georgetown's defense, like you said before, like both of you guys said all broadcasts, is that you come out now, you're fresh, you're adjusted. We should see a little bit more aggressiveness from Georgetown in this situation. Maybe they think they can get the ball back and try to put some points up on board. So I think this is now a big drive for Holy Cross despite them having the lead.
Wyzork again back to Tate Beachley, kind of his up man in front of him. High kick. And Wyzork's going to come up and field. It has to drift back at the last second. Again trying to get to the outside. Wyzork still on his feet. Can he get by everybody? He cannot, as he is taken down by an ankle tackle on that play, making the huge stop, Matthew Deal. But exactly what Tom Gilmore is looking for, gets a big special teams play before the half.
And exactly what Coach Scarlotta was not looking for. and you could tell that I could just see it from the way that kick was done. You know, it was a short kick. Holy Cross had a chance to set everything up, and they've had that little sideline lane the first couple of times that they've done kick returns, and they just did a great job there breaking that one off, and now their offense is in a perfect position with 2.5 minutes left to put up 7 points.
Yeah, Blaze Brown didn't keep outside contained and really gave up that sideline on that big return.
Deal with his 16th tackle of the year, almost all of them on special teams. So 1st and 10 as Wade brings them out. Again, Hoya jumps off sides up front. Flag goes down. They let the play continue. And I tell you, Jeff Wade's hard count right now is just playing havoc with the Georgetown defenders.
And I wish we could hear it up here because he's had the defensive line jumping a couple of times, and it's got to be an extremely good hard count to not only get them to jump once, but now we've seen it 2 or 3 times. Defensive
line coach Alex Colt talking right now to Kendall Ketching, and Ketching's pointing back at something. So I don't know, maybe saying with the center, maybe a little fake grip there. Who knows? As we see a Cubs fan here today.
Fly the W.
Right.
Fly the W. 1st and 5 after the penalty. 2:19 and rolling in the second quarter. Wade will go ahead and call it audible here. Wade, little half pump fake, going deep once again, looking for Wyzork. This time Williamson gets it. Underthrown ball, Jelani Williamson. Now this is a punt return, folks. Cuts it all the way back. Jelani looking to make a house call here. He'll be brought down across the 40-yard line, but Jelani Williamson picked on a few times. He hits back.
And that's exactly what we expected him to do the other 2 times, but this time he pays off. He finally makes the play, and what a great job. Like you mentioned, it became a punt return, broke his wheel running, and he got this football back to the plus 45 or minus 45. So now if you're Georgetown, you have less than 2 minutes left with a couple of timeouts. You can make something happen offensively.
And the big difference on that play was Wade did not throw a very good football out there. He needed to put that football in the corner of the end zone where either his guy or was going to go out of bounds. We're going to catch it. And Williamson just coming up, make a big play, reading the football, making a play on the football, and now returning it to, like you said, about the 45-yard line where the offense has a chance to put up some points again.
So let's see how Georgetown attacks this. They still have plenty of time, just under 2 minutes to go. Ellsworth up the middle, hit and knocked down after a gain of 2. Hoyas with 1 timeout left to go, as they had to take them a few times, 1 time on the field goal attempt. So let's see where they go with this. 2nd and 8. Not moving the fastest. Of course, with a young quarterback, sometimes part of the drill. Norris rolling. Looking deep as Hill can't bring it in. Skied high to try and grab it, but couldn't do it.
What they're trying to do, I think, is this is essentially a stolen possession for Georgetown. So they don't mind taking this into halftime. They wanted a completion right there, but they want to drain some clock before getting this football back to Holy Cross. Ideally, you want a first down to really push the tempo, but I think they're just satisfied with this stolen possession.
Yeah, I mean, play to play there, you were talking about 40 seconds. If they were really interested in driving the football down the field, you're averaging usually about 15 seconds a play.
So let's see what they do here. Looking at a 3rd and 8. Holy Cross would have plenty of time if they kick it back. Vallis cuts back, and he lunges forward, and he's very close to the sticks, but he's about a yard short. So right now, Rob Scarlotta, he's holding up. He's going to go ahead and play a little bit of poker with Tom Gilmore to see exactly what the Holy Cross coach is going to do when it comes to timeouts.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you leave your offense out there, you can easily quick kick and get the ball deep down the field. But, you know, they're bringing out the punting unit
You have to punt the football away right now. If you're Coach Scarlata, you have to punt it away. You've already done a couple of really nice things, you know, with trickeration, but this is not a time to pull a let's go for it on 4th and 1, and now you get stoned and you give Holy Cross the ball at the 50-yard line.
So they run it all the way down as McCollum had some pressure on him, and he kicks it out of bounds. It's going to hit right past the 20-yard line, so actually ended up being a really good kick, all things considered, as he pins it inside the 20, and you would think the Crusaders probably just kneel this one out, but that was an interesting kind of coaching wits battle right there where Scarlata kind of looking at Gilmore, say, you going to take a timeout, buddy? You going to let this run out? Because I'm willing to go ahead and let this thing run out.
And I'll tell you what, that was Dwayne Cameron, number 94 for Holy Cross, had he gone a little harder, he had that kick blocked. He led up there with a couple yards to go, and he still almost blocked it. Had he gone all out, that would have been a huge play for Holy Cross. And I saw the special teams coach over there pulling him over to the sideline saying, hey, you know, I need you to extend those arms a little bit and get out there.
And he's played with length all game long in the pass rushing department. And you're right, he had a chance to block that one right back in the face of Georgetown.
So handoff, trying to make a big play here is Daquan Walker. So he'll be brought down after a gain of 9. Let's see where Holy Cross goes. I think Tom Gilmore more than content to take it. He's going to take his time out. So interesting call here. It kind of looked like they were thinking about it, and then he takes the time out with only 14 seconds left in the half.
And what makes that call interesting is he let 6 seconds run off the clock there. If you're going to call the timeout, you would expect him to do it as soon as the runner's down, but he let about 6 seconds run off the clock there. So this is very interesting. He might just be coming over and saying, hey, guys, hold on to the football. We might just be taking a knee. He might be getting his knee formation ready. But definitely a little bit interesting there, letting the time kind of run down before he called the timeout.
You saw Jethro Francois limp off the field. He's still clearly limping, but he's not getting any medical attention. Maybe just trying to walk it off. It'd be a big loss for the Hoyas. Of course, they've played a few games without him this year as he's been banged up. But let's see where Holy Cross goes with this. Again, 14 seconds left, so may try to heave one down the field.
That's what coach tell you. Stay technically sound. Don't give up anything deep. If you're the safety, Blaze Brown in this situation, don't get caught looking in the backfield. Just stay deep to where you can make a play on the ball.
So Brown, your one deep safety. Everybody else from Georgetown about 10 yards within the line of scrimmage. Try to set up a screen pass. Butler tipped it, and that's what can happen. You try and set a play up like that, then a monster like Butler makes a play.
I mean, again, this guy, in my opinion, has played at an All-American level this year. Defensively, he has made plays in the running game, in the passing game, game-changing plays for an outside linebacker / safety. And this is great timing and athleticism, getting the bat down right there. And now you're going to change everything you're trying to do if you're Holy Cross offensively.
So Holy Cross, they're going to have to run it here because Georgetown has timeouts left. They get a first down, and Walker gets it all the way out to the 45-yard line, and now Holy Cross is going to take a timeout as they're going to try and throw one deep.
Very interesting last few plays.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
It looked like for a second they might try and kneel it out, but Georgetown had a timeout left, and the way the Hoyas block kicks, if you're Holy Cross, you want no part of that.
And I think that probably plays into the decision that Holy Cross has been making this offensive drive, not wanting to kick it deep in their end zone, in their end of the field. So now that they're a little bit out, 5 seconds to go, why not throw one up and see what can happen?
And what happened on that play, again, it's partly due to how well Jeff Wade has done with his play fakes, because he totally sucked in Javion Butler on that fake, which opened up that cutback lane, and the running back was able to get there and get through it.
Of course, Holy Cross had some great players, but probably none better than Gordy Lockbaum, was a Heisman finalist back in 1987. Actually, I remember this as a young kid, him being on the cover of Sports Illustrated. But a wonderful, wonderful player, part of the great tradition of Holy Cross in a lot of sports. Of course, we know their basketball tradition pretty good as well. Bob Cousy played there, among others. So Wade, now he's trying to get some time to throw this one deep. He'll be hit by Sawicki and planted as Flaherty's going to make the catch down at the 20-yard line, but well short. And now at this point, Wade just kind of get his breath as Sawicki got a little free shot and took advantage of it. A clean shot, but a free one as it was, and really plants the quarterback for Holy Cross. So that's how we will go to the half in an interesting 21-17 game as Holy Cross leads Georgetown, but it's not by much as Georgetown coming back getting some big plays, and we see the replay again as Wade kind of rolled back and kept the play alive, and Sawicki, that's a defensive lineman's dream. I say that as an old defensive lineman, get a guy hit like that, and again, it ended up not getting any deeper than the 20-yard line, but a big stick there put on by Brendan Sawicki as he's able to plant Jeff Wade. As Holy Cross with the 21-17 lead at the half on Georgetown, as Hoyas get a big special teams play and also get a nice drive as well, as able to move it down the field, and Georgetown again keeping this game close. Let's get it down to our Anna Tarullo.
You made the decision to go with Clay Norris at quarterback today. Can you evaluate his first half play?
Clay's playing well. He's doing what we're asking him to do. When it's not there, he's pulled the ball down and taken off with it. So I think he's doing a really good job of managing the offense and doing what we're asking him to do.
And what's the biggest challenge you've seen out of this Holy Cross team in the first half?
We're killing ourselves. We haven't given up the deep ball all season, and I know Coach Thompson will get it remedied at halftime. But they're really good. The receivers do a great job on the deep ball, and the quarterback is putting the ball right where he's supposed to.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Coach. Right now, 4-point game on the hilltop as Holy Cross leads Georgetown 21-17. Let's take a break. You're watching it on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
In the Patriot League, our playbooks look a little different. Here, we play to win in the field, in the classroom, and in the community. A competitive athletic experience with high academic standards. Today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders. That's the Patriot League.
froze that linebacker in the hole with a subtle dent. Both teams in this ball game lean on both of their tailbacks. It hasn't really been a perimeter game. And you see right here on a replay, making a move right there in the hole, getting outside, beating the man on line, for the touchdown.
Yeah, great determination there. I thought he was going to be forced out just short, but stretched that ball across.
Today, we're at McDonough Arena on the campus of Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., where we're tasked with broadcasting the basketball team's Midnight Madness event live to our client's Facebook page at the Washington Post. Now, considering that this venue is not truck-friendly, we've instead rolled out our Fly Pack kit for this event. Our Fly Pack allows us to produce a multi-camera stream live to the web by marrying together a series of state-of-the-art products and production tools for one easy setup. Now, we've built out our kit and run 4 independent camera angles back to our NewTek TriCaster. Our director is then producing a live show for the viewers at home. We've also tapped into the in-house network, the internet, which allows our director to pull in live graphics from an independent graphics operator who's working on his own system and feeding graphics across that network. Now, even though you can stream directly out of TriCaster, we've opted instead to pull an independent feed directly into an independent encoder called the Teradek VidiU. This great product simply allows you to take an HDMI feed and you can encode that broadcast separately directly to the client's platform, which today is the Washington Post Facebook page. We've run our own audio back from our staging area where our talent is telling the story for the viewers at home. We've also pulled an audio feed from the in-house PA so we can switch over to the in-house DJ whenever we want to send that audio to our viewers at home. All right, for more great videos like these and to learn more about how to broadcast your event, go to dmvstream.com.
Welcome back to our nation's capital. An exciting first half as Holy Cross leads Georgetown 21-17. Crusaders jumping out to a decent-sized lead, but Georgetown able to reel them back in with a few big special teams plays. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first half highlights. And guys, it would start off early, Mike, going deep on the first play.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times today. That very first play of the drive, taking a shot downfield. You would have loved to see Flaherty stay on his feet on that one, but a great start to the game.
And then able to go ahead and punch that one in. Cozier to put Holy Cross up by a 7-0 score. But then Emory coming right back. Michael Darius for Georgetown.
And he didn't run out of gas at the end. Right there, you thought, okay, maybe they had an angle on him, but he outran the angle, outran the kicker, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Darius taking it all the way, showing off that speed that everyone here at Georgetown is so excited about. Made it 7-7, but then Holy Cross would be able to answer right back, and again, it'd be another big play in the passing game, Mike.
Yeah, and again, first play of the drive, going to Flaherty, their big play guy. We talked about it earlier, 40 catches on the year, only 300-plus yards. Today he has 140 yards on 4 catches, doing a really good job for this Holy Cross offense.
And Holy Cross will get bogged down, made it a third down play, but At that point, the Crusaders Emory would go to a matchup as they go Dorsey on Williamson.
Yeah, it's almost basketball season. They posted up right there, Jelani Williamson with the touchdown. Nice throw, nice catch. Ended up being 6.
So that would make it a 14-7 game. And then Holy Cross would again look to go deep in the passing game, Mike, as again they look for the big chunk.
Yeah, and we've been seeing it all day. They're throwing the football down the field, going after Jelani Williamson, and then you see there, beautiful job, just getting up to the line of scrimmage quickly and running the football into the end zone.
Yeah, Montgomery with the big catch there, and they would go ahead and get it in. But then the Hoyas, a little trickeration, Emory, they go with a fake field goal.
And like you mentioned before, a good block by the kicker, getting him enough time to where he can make that throw. That was a big play right there for Georgetown. Ended up being a touchdown later on in the drive.
Yeah, Schweitzer able to get the catch on that. Then Alex Vallis would punch it in around the corner. Wyzork then would kind of fire right back. Not a lot of time, so we thought this would kind of open things up for Holy Cross. He goes down the sidelines, but Deal, the special teams maven, makes the big play, and then they get a little bit greedy, Mike.
Yeah, they got a little greedy, tried to get a little too much too soon, I think, in the drive. Jelani Williamson coming in. He'd been picked on a couple of times throughout the course of the game, and then he stepped up, gets his 4th interception on the season, doing a really nice job playing for this Georgetown defense, and a great play there for Jelani Williamson.
The underthrow hurts Holy Cross as they can't put any more on the board. They do get the second half kickoff, but only up by 4. Well, here's halftime stats, folks, and of course, Mike, you kind of got to like this. A lot of passing yardage, especially on chunk plays for Holy Cross.
Yeah, and Holy Cross, I would expect to continue to see them throw the football down the field. They really have not been stopped at taking those throws down the field, those 20-plus yard throws. They've done a really nice job at setting them up with the run game, the play-action game. Look for them to continue to throw the football down the field in the second half.
In Emory, time of possession in Georgetown's favor. A couple other stats, not too bad for the Hoyas.
Especially the big 0 right there at turnovers. They don't have any turnovers. They're doing a better job on third downs than what we've seen so far this season. So you have to be impressed or pleased with that if you're Rob Scarlett, the head coach, and they're showing a little bit of balance, running the football and also throwing the football efficiently down the field.
You talk about throwing the football today. Clay Norris, he's got 90 yards passing in this one, but he also has done a lot on the ground, and that's big, Emory, those legs kind of helping Georgetown move the sticks.
Especially when you're facing an over-aggressive defensive front like Holy Cross, who is just flying up the field right now, and Norris's ability to make them pay on the ground is what's been the difference in this ball game.
Over on the Holy Cross side of things, really, it's been all about the big play combination, Mike, between Jeff Wade and Brendan Flaherty.
Yeah, and I've been really impressed with Jeff Wade coming off the injury last week, first game back from it, and also replacing Peter Pujols, their all-league quarterback that was primed for a big year. But this offense is designed to thrive throwing the football. In 3+ games, when Pujols was playing quarterback, he had over 1,000 yards in just 3+ games. So this offense is designed to throw the football down the field, and Jeff Wade has done a great job today putting the footballs out there for his wide receivers. And, of course, what can you say about Brendan Flaherty having himself a fantastic game so far?
Boy, as we're looking to establish the run game a little bit, Emory, only 3 carries so far for Alex Vallis. Would you like to see a few more?
Absolutely. In my unbiased opinion, I would love to see more carries go to the running backs. But you have to like how they're using their running game. You would figure that on the back end of this game, third and fourth quarter, you'll see more of them trying to grind it out with their backs and get their backs more involved, not only in the running game, but also in the short passing game.
Excuse me, I want to correct myself. Actually, 6 carries for Vallis for 13 yards. Actually has more yardage in the passing game, 3 receptions for 31 yards. Well, Holy Cross leading Georgetown 21-17 at the half. More after this on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders.
500 Yeah, absolutely. You got to be fundamentally sound when this defense gets out there. They just got to do it. You're obviously a guy, a ball hawk back too.
It was a major point of emphasis for us. And also, we need to be a better third down situation.
In the Patriot League, our playbooks look a little different. Here, we play to win on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. A competitive athletic experience with high academic standards. Today's scholar athlete, tomorrow's leaders. That's the Patriot League.
That's a heck of a job right there. He froze that linebacker in the hole with a subtle dent. Both teams in this ball game lean on both their tailbacks. It hasn't really been a perimeter game. You see right here on a replay, making a move right there in the hole, getting outside, beating the man on line of scrimmage, tip on his way for the touchdown.
Yeah, great determination there. I thought he was going to be forced out just short, but stretched that ball across.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Holy Cross holding a 4-point lead on Georgetown at the half. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Patriot League standing as we wind our way down in the PL season. And right now, Mike, Lehigh on top of things and have a good chance to go ahead and get themselves an FCS playoff berth.
Yeah, Lehigh doing a really nice job in league play this year, sitting at 7-2 also, so having a really good year offensively, doing enough defensively to give them chances in games, but that offense is tough to stop, and they're proving it in the Patriot League play so far.
Of course, Patriot League action today. There's 3 games involving Patriot League teams, and really the important one is Lehigh as they take on Bucknell today, and that's a little bit of a shocker, Emory, that Bucknell is slowing down that Lehigh offense.
Well, not surprising for the defense. I'm surprised that they're up because their offense usually hasn't been able to score, and as we talked about, there go Lehigh right there, scored a touchdown. But I'm more shocked at Colgate, and we talked about this off camera. This is probably the time of year where Colgate gets it into gear. We saw this last year in the Patriot League with a 1-4 start, and then they revved off 6 straight victories and did some damage in the playoffs, and they have a 10-point lead against your Fordham Rams, Mike.
Yeah, they've been struggling in the last couple weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Lehigh, the game so important for them. Mountain Hawks win today, they'd go ahead and lock up the Patriot League berth into the playoffs. That would be the big thing there. They still could finish in a tie, I believe, for the conference championship. But, of course, that would be the big thing, locking up the playoff berth. Of course, Brock Johnson Didn't see him in the first half. Expected to see him. Maybe see him a little bit in the second half. You never know. But, of course, got a lot of family ties. Interesting story. His father, Brett, played quarterback at both Michigan State, UCLA. He played in the pros. Rob Johnson played quarterback at USC, played in the NFL, played 9 seasons. Then his grandfather, Bob, played at quarterback at Fresno State, co-founded the Elite 11 quarterback camp. And oh, by the way, right now, I believe Brock was coached in high school by his grandfather, Bob, Uncle Rob, and Brett as well. So it's really a family affair when it comes to quarterbacking in the Johnson family.
Yeah, deep ties in the Johnson family when it comes to being a quarterback. And Brock has a bright future ahead of him. Just a freshman. We've seen him do some good things so far this year. If he comes out to play in this second half, look for him to kind of, just go out there and do his thing. He's a very effective player throwing the football, but ultimately I think Georgetown has themselves a heck of a player in Brock Johnson moving forward throughout the course of his career.
And his uncle, Rob Johnson, had probably the best headband game at the quarterback position. I mean, he had the look of the California cool quarterback when he was at USC when he played at Buffalo.
Well, it will be the Georgetown defense being tested first here in the second half as they're looking to get this one back. Holy Cross won the toss to start the game but deferred, so they will start here on offense in the second half. Again, Holy Cross in all white today with the purple helmets, while Georgetown in their navy blue tops, gray pants, and gray helmets.
And we forgot to mention how clean Holy Cross's helmets look today. Again, it wouldn't have worked if it was matte purple. The shiny purple works.
Wyzork going to take the kickoff. Had the big return right near the end of the first half. He'll be hit and spun out of bounds around the 30-yard line, and a flag comes in, and that's going to be a face mask. The whole Holy Cross sideline pointed that one out, and that's going to make what was a modest return into a pretty good one.
And that return's a little bit interesting. They just had a big return on them before the half. They got to go into halftime, make some adjustments, and Holy Cross set up the exact same return that they've been running all game and still had some success with it. So look for Georgetown to do something a little bit different, whether it be kicking the football to the other side of the field or what, but they need to do something that doesn't allow Holy Cross to return the ball up to the 30, 35-yard line every time they touch the football.
And it looked like that time Winston Jackson didn't grab the face mask in so much as he grabbed the back of the helmet, but flag goes down, and Holy Cross will scrimmage in very good position at their own 46-yard line. Wade in the game. He'll hand it off, and being brought down after a minimal gain, Miles Alexander, the freshman running back out of Kansas. Hunter Kislick, great one-on-one tackle.
Great job there by Hunter Kislick. He engaged the block, fought his way off the block, and then made a great tackle there on the running back. Great job for Hunter Kislick. We had him as one of the standout guys for the game. Look for him to have a big second half here for the Hoyas.
I feel like their defense is filled with football players, quote-unquote, guys that just played well, just played great in space, and just they may not have the measurables, but they're outstanding as far as on-the-field production.
Last second switch by the Georgetown front as Novacki and Kislick flop spots. Quick screen pass. Flaherty hit by Kislick and goes down again. Hunter Kislick back-to-back big plays as he puts Flaherty on his backside with a quick play to get out there and hit the receiver.
It was like two battering rams ramming heads at one another. I think Flaherty actually showed well on that one. He didn't completely fall over. That's just a heck of a shot right there by Kislick.
I don't know if Kislick exactly knew that Flaherty was coming in. He knew there was a screen being set up, but I think when that ball was caught, he turned his head and went, oh boy, I need to lower my shoulder here.
3rd and 10 on the loss of 2. So Wade's got 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Hoya is showing a little bit of pressure. Will they bring it? Yankovic up on the line. He'll back out. Wade trying to find someone over the middle. Incomplete. Almost picked off twice. It ended up going off of Lockery, and then a second chance for Jethro Francois. Neither brings it in, but the bigger point, they get the stop on 3rd down.
You couldn't script a better start defensively for Georgetown coming out of the halftime because, again, they gave up a big return like you talked about, Mike, but good pursuit right there as far as collapsing the pocket, not getting past the rush, and was able to force an errant throw.
A little bit of pinball started with Nicolason. Ends up going off with 2 different Hoyas, but the big play there, and this punt, a nice one by Wells, and it'll bounce and ends up rolling into the end zone, so just barely gets there. Holy Cross desperately trying to down it at the 1. couldn't do it, and the Hoyas will start from their 20.
Big break there for the Hoyas. That ball looked like it was going to bounce up, bounce one more time, and die right at the 1 yard line there. So big break for the Hoyas. Now let's see if they can come out in this second half and continue the momentum that they built, and that's in the end of that second half there. Clay Norris was playing well. The offense was playing well as a unit. Let's see if they can come out here in the second half, throw some wrinkles in that we didn't see in the first half, and play well again.
The Hoyas chasing 4, first possession of the second half. Jessen back in for the Hoyas. McLaughlin out there as well, along with starters Hill and Williams. Vallis, you're back in the backfield. Norris at quarterback, throws it to Hill, makes the catch. Question is, how much forward progress do they give him? They give it all to him as he takes it out to the 25-yard line.
What I've seen so far in this game from the receivers is that each one of these guys have made hands catches. They're doing a good job of extending out and securing the ball, and they're just tying up those loose ends. Again, something that we haven't seen from Georgetown offensively in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Remember, Justin Harrell not playing in this game due to a shoulder injury. So Hoyas having to go a little bit deeper into their wide receiver depth chart, but they haven't done bad so far today, as Emory said, doing a good job of picking up Norris, and Hill will do it again there as he gets 6, and that's enough for a first down.
And Coach Carlotta was talking to me before the game, in that pregame session, trying to figure out ways to get Hill the football. Hill is their playmaker on offense, and they haven't done the best job in the last couple of weeks, especially the month of October, at getting him the football and letting him go out there and make plays. Today, they're putting an emphasis on finding him and getting him the football.
Very low numbers for Hill on the season. Norris is going to keep, and it'll be brought down. They try for the fake reverse or fake end around to Jessen and hit in the backfield. Dwayne Cameron, the big man, makes the play.
Listen, from a pro prospect standpoint, I've been very impressed with Cameron and what he's done today as far as showing length, getting off the football, making plays against the run, and also getting pressure on the QB. And you see right there getting the TFL on Norris. He's played a great game so far for Holy Cross.
So a loss of 3 on the play. Puts it back to the 27-yard line. Norris trying to move Hill around. Now Norris takes the snap, hands off to Vallis. Got a little seam up the middle, spun down at the 35-yard line, but a straight-ahead run by the Hoyas, working pretty well for a gain of 8.
That was a great job there by the offensive line, washing the Holy Cross defensive line down, giving Vallis that lane to get up in there. But the Holy Cross linebackers coming up, making a play after 7 or 8 yard gain. But a really nice job here by the offensive line, washing that defensive line down and giving Vallis that lane to run through.
McBeath getting in on that tackle, a few others as well. So manageable here, 3rd and 5. Need to get out to the 41 for a first down. 2 receivers each way. Hill and Williams on the same side of the formation as Holy Cross shows some pressure. Will they come? They will. Norris, quick pass. McLaughlin makes the catch. He spins back, but the official gives him forward progress, and that's 2 yards past the sticks.
You know what I see right now? Confidence, offensive confidence. These guys believe that they can move the football. They're actually gaining more confidence. You're going to see them push the ball a little bit more vertically down the field because of it. Guys are just, hitting their free throws, so to speak, in the passing game, and it's very good to see Georgetown have some confidence and execute like this offensively.
McLaughlin coming up big for the Hoyas today, getting a little extra opportunity with Harrell out of the contest. Fake handoff, quick screen, Hill cuts it back and lunges forward, and Rob Scarlotta knows he almost had a really big play there. As it stands, still a gain of 8.
And again, just different ways to get Justin Hill the football. We've seen quick hitches. We just saw a screen there for Hill. Find ways to get this kid the football and let him go out there and make plays for you. But I think you said it best right there, Emory. Clay Norris is throwing the football with confidence right now, and it's really good to see. I mean, even a play like that, pressure in his face, did a nice job dropping down his arm, throwing a little sidearm action to Hill, and putting it accurately to give him a chance to run after the catch.
2nd and 2. Vallis running to his left. He's spun down. He's very close to the sticks, and then little extracurriculars between James and one of the linemen for Holy Cross. And they will go ahead and move the sticks.
Vallis does that very well, where he really presses it. Then at the last second, he makes that subtle jump cut to where, as a defender, you're just flat-footed thinking that he's going to come try to run you over. Then he just bounces it right or cuts it right back inside, and he makes you miss. So that's just a good job right there by Vallis. Good piece of running.
So ball at the 47-yard line of Holy Cross. First down for Georgetown. Tight end into the game. Norris. Completion, and Justin Hill, what a catch. 13-yard gain as he skies and makes another hands catch.
Again, throwing the football with confidence right now. Taking his drop, putting the ball exactly where he wants to, and finding his big play guy in Justin Hill. Great job here by Clay Norris, letting the route develop, throwing it with enough zip on it to get to the sideline there, and then a fantastic job by Justin Hill coming down with that catch.
Yeah, he's playing 6'5", 225 right now. He's playing some big-time ball. You see him standing tall in the pocket and just throwing perfect passes downfield.
Saw some of the early games, not a lot of confidence. That tough start against Princeton in the rain. But Norris, a completely different quarterback today, looking to lead the Hoyas to a win. Rolls out and tries to get one to Williams. That's going to be incomplete, though. But again, as I think you pointed out earlier in the game, Mike, one of those plays where he's trying to make sure it's a safe pass, and that one was only his receiver, nobody gets that one.
Yeah, exactly. And young quarterbacks tend to, when they roll out and they feel that pressure, they try and find the guy that's coming across the field. And that's where you see interceptions happen. He's done a nice job today when he escapes the pocket at throwing the football to the sideline, and either his guy's going to catch it or it's going out of bounds.
Four-man front for Holy Cross. Norris, again, pressure on him, trying to set the screen up. That's incomplete as Vallis was getting mugged up front by Nick Beef, but the referees, a little traffic in there, they let it go.
I'm surprised you can do that as a defense, hold the screen guy. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen someone blatantly do it like that. But, again, right now, if you're Holy Cross, you just have to galvanize around your defensive line and tell those guys, like, hey, let's be patient. Let's not be as aggressive. Let's just remain gap sound, because right now they're getting gashed because of it.
Rob Scarlotta still talking to the referee about it. They've come to some type of agreement as Scarlotta goes back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Let's see where the Hoyas go. They'll hand it off. Vallis up the middle. He pushes forward, but only a gain of 3. So trying to set that one up. Trying to set up a field goal. So a lot of confidence in Darmstadt as they want to try and cut this down to a 1-point game.
Yeah, and just going back to that screen pass real quick, as we see the run here, Alex Vallis, not much there, trying to do what he can and get the yards that he can. But going back to that screen pass, it's interesting because the running back is behind the line of scrimmage, you are allowed to engage him. You can't hold him per se, which is maybe the argument he's trying to make, but you're allowed to engage him all you want because he's behind the line of scrimmage. So that's one of those tricky plays there.
49-yard field goal by Darmstadter. It has some distance on it, and it is good. Darmstadter bangs it through from 49, and we've got a 1-point game on the Hilltop.
Listen, he threw a block. He broke the record. He just nailed the 49-yarder. He's feeling it right now.
You talk about a confident kicker.
Right, he is confident right now.
Career-long 49-yard field goal for Henry Darmstadter. Let's take another look.
That's just a great job. Again, like you said, confidence, because he really laid into that football. That could have been good from about 55 yards.
Easy, yeah.
So that's a great kick.
And I was watching him pregame and watching his kicks actually down at this end, and he was struggling a little bit from this distance. So that first one, it skimmed off the post, just barely made it. I was like, okay, that's what he looked like pregame. But that one, he kicked that one with absolute confidence. Good from 55, easy.
And the other thing, guys, you notice almost no rush. I wonder if that fake field goal earlier kind of made Holy Cross a little bit scared. You see some of the streaks in this one. Georgetown snapped an 8-game losing streak versus Holy Cross. And again, another streak snapped there. So again, you see Georgetown really have kind of dominated this one as of late, winning 4 of the last 6. So hopefully they can go ahead and come back in this one. They've got it down to a 1-point deficit. But again, Mr. Wyzorik's back deep, and he's hurt the Hoyas the last few times.
Well, Bill Walsh once said that he wanted to get his trick play out first before anybody else, because that's going to make you, as an opposing coach, not utilize your own trick play. So good job of gamesmanship right there by Coach Carlotta.
And the high kick benefits Georgetown this time as Wyzork taken down back at his 12-yard line. Cameron Seward, the transfer from Boston College, making a big play right there and puts Holy Cross on the doorstep of their own goal line.
And we mentioned right at the start of the half on that kickoff, how they did the exact same thing that they were doing the entire first half, and Holy Cross was exploiting it. I wanted to see them come out and do something different there. That's exactly what they did. That little pooch kick that got a great bounce. Great coverage by Georgetown there, getting down, and now forcing a very long field for Holy Cross's offense that has been struggling a little bit in the last couple possessions.
Daquan Walker's going to take the handoff up the middle. He's got some room to run, breaks another tackle, breaks a third tackle, and Yankovic will have to run him out of bounds out across the 40-yard line.
That's been a great run play for Holy Cross all game long, where they're running that inside zone and having the running back with great vision cutting it back against the grain. He, again, broke the tackle, the one man that was responsible for the cutback, and just a great opening play. I thought they were actually trying to set up to go deep down the field because we've seen this formation before, but just a good run play right there by Holy Cross.
So Holy Cross going back to the ground. Remember, Cozier started the game, but Walker's got to come on late in the second half. Now looking deep once again. Now they'll go over the middle. That's incomplete as Flaherty couldn't get his hands underneath to bring it in.
Yeah, and I really like what they're doing when they go under center. They're doing a really nice job, like you said, with that little inside zone from an under center formation. Here, that sets up that play action fake. Wade does a great job there with the play action fake. You would have liked to see him try and drive that football a little bit more for Flaherty, but those long runs under center, that's where you see those big play action fakes come into play.
2nd and 10. Holy Cross with the ball at their 42-yard line. Novacki almost jumps off sides, gets back as Holy Cross didn't snap it. Swing pass out in the flat as banged out of bounds again was Walker. Yankovic over to make the play and only a gain of 1.
Never was a big fan of swing passes to the short side of the field because I just knew in the back of my mind somebody was coming to lay me out.
It's definitely, and it's the short side of the field that always scratches my head. If you're going to do that little swing pass, let him have some room to the field side.
Because it's a zone buster type route. You want to expand that defense, not on the short side.
Walker, the junior out of Clearwater, Florida. 6 receptions on the year before that one. So Wade. Pressure coming. He's going to find Wyzork for first down yardage. Ball's on the ground. Who can get on top of it? It's still loose. Whose ball? Georgetown ball. You guys had a shot at it. Finally, the Hoyas jump on top, and they get a big play out of their defense.
And you feel for Wyzork because that was a big play right there in the passing game for Holy Cross because he had a lot more room to run. He made that first guy miss, but you got to protect the football if you're trying to be creative as far as eluding the defender.
Really nice offensive play for Holy Cross there. Wade does a great job creating time, and then Wyzork does a really nice job here with that little subtle step move, but you got to hold that football tight, especially on those moves where you're trying to get the guy to go right past you tight. Those are the plays that you see, the defender just happens to get a hand on the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
So Hoyas now with a chance to take the lead as they get the long field goal by Darmstadter, then the fumble recovery from the standout Wyzork. 1st and 10. Norris pitches it out Ellsworth. Cuts it back, close to the sticks, and he'll be just short after a gain of 9.
And here's the difference in that speed option they did in the first half, where you saw Norris now attack downhill, which drew that end man on the line of scrimmage close to him. Then he pitched the football. He took the shot, but that's why that play worked, because now you make that defensive end make a choice, and the pitch was wide open.
Defensive lineman getting downfield and blocking. You have a guy like Ellsworth, you'd have to think he's so small back there, just guys in the way, it's just tough to see him sometimes. 2nd and 1. Bermudez in as a wing. Ellsworth again will get it, and this time will be hit in the backfield. And guys, every time it seems like the Hoyas have run a delay today, it has been a loss as Holy Cross has gotten up the field.
And we've seen them do it multiple times now where they've run that delay. They've gotten the loss because Holy Cross's run defense has actually done a fantastic job today at getting penetration in that offensive line. So when you have those little delay plays, it gives them that extra split second to get that push up forward, and that's why you're seeing these tackles in the backfield. But I'll tell you what, guys, we've seen a lot of 2nd and shorts that you'd love to see them take a shot downfield. We just have not seen that from this offense yet.
McBeath made the play the last time. So now a 3rd and 3. Norris all by himself in the backfield. That'll be caught by Hill and makes another good catch. But they'll mark him at the 50, gain of 6 and enough to move the chains.
Hill stepping up big time in this ball game. I think he's made every catch for every target he has been targeted. He's made every catch. He's done a great job and just showing that senior leadership right now from the receiver position.
Almost working as a possession receiver today, but he's been able to move the sticks, and that's something the Georgetown offense hasn't been able to do over the last few weeks, but they're doing it today. Again, 5 wide receivers. Norris looking over the middle. This time, Hill going to give him the catch. They will.
Again, find ways to get Justin Hill the football. This kid is proving it right now, and he's proved it throughout the course of his career that this kid is a playmaker. I mean, you watch this catch right now. Really nice throw by Clay Norris, but fantastic concentration by Justin Hill and a fantastic catch to now get second and short. And again, a fantastic opportunity to take a shot down the field. And it's taken all I have, guys, to not go into the offensive coaching booth right next to us and go give them a play call.
I wonder why you were standing way over there.
We're so close. I want to tell them.
Time running down the play clock, down to 5 seconds. They may not get it off. They just get it off with 1 second on the clock. To Vallis. He'll spin back, pushes forward, ends up getting a positive gain on the play, but only about a yard. As they threw it behind Vallis and end up looking at a 3rd and 2 now.
Just to add to your point, Mike, especially in that situation, you saw 2 deep safeties. And they were probably playing cover 4 or maybe cover 2. So why not take that shot down the seam, and try to run, especially if you've had success running off tackle, play fake, down the seam, should be a big throw. Maybe Scooby can, help these guys out on this particular play.
Referring to the placards they hold up for the play calls. Need to get it to the 40 for a 1st down. Norris, going to be a draw, and he runs into his own blockers, and he'll get no yardage on the play. So the Hoyas unable to convert on 3rd down. Let's see where Rob Scarlatti goes with this.
Well, Clay Norris is going to have to come out of the game regardless, so I think that makes his decision a little bit easier. But again, guys, 2 conservative play calls on 2nd and short and 3rd and short. They need to open up this playbook a little bit. Clay Norris is playing extremely well, but just a little designed run for him. He's not the greatest runner. He's shown some good moves today, but I don't know if that's the best play call on 3rd and short to kind of get these chains moving.
Give a lot of credit. Neil Vorster got some big-time penetration, was in on that tackle. So McCollum comes on. He'll punt this one away, and it's going to bounce. Takes a Holy Cross bounce back out to the 10-yard line. So Javion Butler was down there trying to down it inside the 5. Still pretty good position there when you're talking about Georgetown, as Holy Cross will have to scrimmage from inside their 10.
And once again, Mike pointed this out earlier that Dwayne Cameron had an opportunity to block the punt twice. And the first time Coach pulled to the side, I'm like, hey, maybe you can reach out a little bit more. And what we just saw again, Coach pulled to the side again, like, dude, block the punt if you can.
He's close, and you've mentioned it multiple times today. He is a lengthy dude. Just get your hands out there. Lay out a little bit. Give me a little bit more effort.
Goodness, I mean, that's right. That's a huge play. They need a big play right now in this ball game.
Holy Cross up by 1. They'll hand it off. Jitterbugging his way through is the running back, the 3rd stringer, Miles Alexander, for a gain of 4.
And that was Lawfrey in the backfield there that really disrupted that play. If you're watching just the line of scrimmage there, the offensive line for Holy Cross did a fantastic job at creating a hole, but Lawfrey caused enough distraction in the backfield that forced the running back to make that one extra cut that allowed Javion Butler and others to kind of rally around.
Alexander, the freshman of Overland Park, Kansas. Holy Cross has lost a few running backs already this year. They're going deep in their depth chart. Wade out of the shotgun, over the middle, complete, and 1st down yardage to Flaherty.
Wade took another shot, and this is the 2nd big hit he's taken in this ball game. We saw one right before the half and one just here, but he's one tough cookie. He stepped right back up and is back there ready to go for the next play.
And I tell you what, I'm really impressed watching Wade go through his progressions. And you watch him go 1, 2, 3. You can see him methodically go through different things and find the open guy. He's done a great job today.
Wade has come from an athletic family. His dad played football at Dartmouth. His mom was on the basketball team there. 1st and 10. As Wade has 3 receivers to his left, the tight end to his right. They'll hand it off as Alexander trying to get around the end. He'll be stacked up and pushed back for a yard loss.
Team defense right there by Georgetown, getting the stop in the backfield for a loss on that play. You like to see those guys playing well on the perimeter, and they did a great job right there. Ran outside zone on that particular play, but you see guys get off a block and just create a bubble around him and just slowly bring him down to the ground.
Yeah, and they've done a really nice job all year, especially in the games that we've called it, stringing those plays out and allowing those linebackers to flow over and come up and make those tackles.
2nd and 11. Georgetown again showing some pressure. Will they come? They do not. Wade sidesteps the pressure. He puts the ball down. He ends up running now, and it will be hit and brought down after a gain out near the 30-yard line. So that'll be closer to the sticks, makes it a 3rd and manageable. Question is, will Holy Cross let this run out, or will they try and run a play? Looks like they're just going to let this one go. So we will go to our final quarter with Holy Cross leading, but only by 1. They're up on Georgetown 21-20. More after this on the Patriot League Network on Campus Insiders. Georgetown looking for a big 3rd down stop here. Holy Cross looking to move the sticks as we start the 4th quarter with the Crusaders up by 1. Wade, everybody bunched together in the Holy Cross formation. He'll look over the middle, gets it to his tight end, and that is going to be completed, but a flag is down on the play. Nicolason makes the catch. Let's see what the call is. Came from the side judge, and it's going to be on Holy Cross.
Yeah, I think they got caught with a little pick route on that one. I think the referee to this field there saw
Pass interference. Offense. Number 33. 15-yard penalty. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 3rd down.
A huge game so far. Gets called for the pick. Tom Gilmore not happy about it at all. He's still giving the ref an earful on the sidelines. Let's see if we can see it.
Yeah, these bunch formations are always tricky with those little pick routes, and that's what you try and get out of it. We couldn't see to the field exactly what happened, but it looked like maybe there was a rub, a little pick. Maybe Flaherty got a little handsy, who knows? But either way, now it's 3rd and 20 for this Holy Cross offense.
And this is where you have to worry if you're Georgetown or be on the lookout for the deep play. They haven't had an issue throwing deep down the field and taking a shot with one of their receivers, and they've been targeting Jelani Williamson all game long.
See where Mike Kasherba goes, the offensive coordinator for Holy Cross. Conservative, or do they go for it all? Wade's going to be hit and brought down, and Yankovic gets the sack. Dan Yankovic comes, and now a flag down on the play, deep down the field. And we'll have to wait on this. It came in extra late.
Unsportsmanlike sideline interference against Georgetown. 15-yard penalty.
Oh my
automatic
goodness.
1st down.
Sideline interference on the Hoyas.
Maybe a coach bumped
Coach had to have bumped the ref, yep.
Oh, that is a terrible, terrible penalty. And that's what they have get-back coaches for, and Rob Scarlatta is not happy.
Yeah, and if you're Rob Scarlatta, unfortunately, that's one of those penalties that you really can't argue. If the ref gets bumped into, it's an automatic flag every single time. Terrible penalty for the Georgetown team as a whole on that one. They just had a great stop, finally got pressure on Wade, and now they're faced with a 1st and 10 for Holy Cross.
And what's throwing these guys off, I bet, because we saw a sideline warning from Holy Cross, is that the box in which they have to stay out of is not painted. It's a checkerboard box, so that's kind of throwing guys off probably.
But a huge turn of events as the Hoyas were looking to get the ball back, with Holy Cross having to punt at their 5-yard line. Instead, they keep it going here. Flaherty makes the catch, goes backwards, tries to reestablish. He'll be hit and gets out of bounds, ends up losing yardage after he took the big hit from Lockery, ends up getting it back across the sticks, the first stick that is, but still ends up being a no gain for Holy Cross.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you just wish he had fell. After this hit, you wish he had just fallen. He would have gotten the forward momentum. But he stayed on his feet, ended up losing a couple yards. But a great individual effort there by Flaherty.
That's the second time they bumped him backwards a little bit. You know, it's showing good stamina and good strength right there by Flaherty.
Man goes in motion. That's Walker. Now Wade going to take it on the draw. He'll be hit and brought down near the 25-yard line. So gain of 3. Still a 3rd and long coming up for the Crusaders.
And this is, again, a big play for Georgetown's defense. They just had that unfortunate penalty happen to them. Now they have another 3rd and long, this 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 that they have here. They need to come up, get a big play, get their offense back out onto the field. Their offense has been rolling these last couple of drives, especially in that 3rd quarter. Get off the field right now if you're Georgetown's defense.
Need to get it to the 32 for a 1st down. Again, Georgetown shows blitz. Now they back out. Wade. Pocket collapsing, and a flag will come down, and that's going to be a face mask. And again, Georgetown just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that looked like Kislett came in, forced the pressure. Unfortunately, and I'm not sure why, but he left his feet. And on the way back down, came down and grabbed the face mask.
Face mask. Defense, number 71. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
So a 2nd straight tough penalty on Georgetown. As you said, Mike, it was all about effort, but he leaves the feet and just reaches out and grabs Wade's face mask.
And again, another unfortunate mistake that Georgetown has to avoid if they're going to win this game. Now, that's 2 this drive that have cost them.
Handoff up the middle. That's Alexander, and he'll have 4 on the carry.
Yeah, this time they ran a split zone where they brought that tight end back across formation to kick out that end man on the line of scrimmage, and was able to get 4 to 5 yards on that play. So that's a good opening play on this particular series of plays right here for Holy Cross.
So 2nd, we'll call it 6 for Holy Cross. Have gotten 2 15-yard penalties to keep this drive alive. Both of them legitimate calls, though. Handoff as Alexander again tries to get around the end. He does for a bit, and he'll gain about 3.
And again, another big 3rd down.
And let's see if they keep guys backed up, and let's see if they don't grab face masks on this particular play. If you're Georgetown, but you're right, this is a big 3rd down. I think because of what we saw them do on the last 2 3rd down plays, if they can get a stop here, that's a big momentum shift for the Hoyas.
So actually a 3rd and 6. Pressure again, but Flaherty's able to make the catch and breaks the tackle, and he'll end up getting it across the 45-yard line for a 1st down.
And I tell you what, I absolutely loved that play call from Holy Cross there. The last couple of 3rd downs, Georgetown has brought pressure, and they've seen that. They saw that pattern starting to develop. Holy Cross got up to the line quickly, guessing that they were going to bring pressure again, and that's exactly what they did. They did that little rollout motion to give him enough time to throw the football. A great play call for Holy Cross on that 3rd down.
Alexander tries to cut it back. He'll be hit and stacked up. Kendall getting in there last and making the stop for 2 yards.
You got to like how Holy Cross is not breaking tendencies at all. And again, there's a lot of creativity you can do and a lot of things you can get done when you have a great offensive line. Their offensive line has played an outstanding game so far.
2nd and 8 here. Holy Cross will again send 3 receivers to one side of the formation. Nicolason away from it as the tight end. Hoyas jump, but not across the line of scrimmage. Flag goes down, and they're going to say a false start.
False start. Offense, number 16. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That ends up on Montgomery. Had the big catch earlier in the game, but he jumps. Looks like Sawicki up front jumped, but they think they said he didn't get into the neutral zone.
Again, though, we're seeing that hard count that Wade's put on throughout the course of the game, influencing the defensive line. I really wish we had the audio for it so we could hear how hard he was doing it, but really doing a nice job with that hard count.
Nicolais is now dropped off as a wing. Apuzzi may be coming. He will. Fake the handoff, looking deep once again. Open receiver, and this will be dropped. Darius Lacey had a touchdown and couldn't bring it in.
And I tell you what, guys, right before that play, you could almost feel the big play coming. Holy Cross has not taken a shot downfield. This half, before that last play, you could almost feel that play was coming. They had everything set up with the run game, just couldn't connect on this play.
And he had him beat off the line of scrimmage. We talk about keeping your eyes on your luggage right there. The corner was stuck on in the backfield. I don't know what was going on, but the receiver ran right past him and dropped a potential touchdown.
Screen and almost picked off. Getting back there, I believe Lockery got a hand on it. Lyons almost grabs her on the deflection, but the Hoyas finally get the stop they were looking for.
And as long as that series was ultimately, it ends in no points and a punt. So great job there by Georgetown's defense.
And they earned a standing ovation from the crowd here because of that defensive stop. Again, way to keep fighting, way to keep showing effort, and nearly coming up with an interception on that tip pass.
So the one thing Holy Cross does get, they flip field position, is Brown will go back to catch this punt. High kick. Brown's going to let it bounce. Almost hits a Georgetown player as it takes a Georgetown bounce back towards the line of scrimmage. Holy Cross trying to say that it hit a Georgetown player. It did not. Pretty clearly diving out of the way of that one was Leon Agee. So Hoyas get their chance, guys. Still 10 minutes to go and only trailing by one, and with a field goal kicker, he's pretty red hot today.
And they haven't really been stopped at all in the second half here for Georgetown. Clay Norris is playing well. The offensive line is playing well. Justin Hill has had a fantastic second half, really stepping up and making plays. This is a drive that I think Georgetown, if they really want to continue this momentum, they need to go down, get some points here, and now their team has all of the momentum throughout the course of the second half.
Holy Cross brings pressure, and again, they make a tackle in the backfield. The run game just not working. Anything that takes a time at all, Holy Cross is getting back and making a stop.
Yeah, it's become a strength versus strength battle up front because their defensive line matched up against an offensive line that has played well today for Georgetown, but that's going to be tough sledding for them if they want to continue to run this ball against Holy Cross defensive front.
Laurie coming up from his safety spot to make that play. So a 2nd and 13 now. Hoyas again in the shadow of their own goal line. Norris rolling. Gets it out to Williams, who can't make the catch. So after a really good game catching the football, the Hoyas with a key drop right there.
That may have been the first drop in a while I've seen from Georgetown because, like you said, they've been doing a great job catching the football all game long, and that right there was a must. They had to have that catch because that would have been a first down.
Yeah, and now again it forces a 3rd and 13, a spot that Georgetown is not particularly good at. Now they have played well today offensively, throwing the football down the field, but overall throughout the season, a 3rd and 13 is not a good spot for Georgetown's offense.
Hoyas looking for their first conference win of the year, also trying to break a 5-game losing streak. Got a good chance today as they trail by just one here against Holy Cross. 5 wide receiver set. And now, Rob Scarlatta is going to take a timeout as the play clock was about to hit 0.
5-yard penalty.
Well, they're going to say it's a delay of game, so he didn't get the timeout. So, still with 3 timeouts left. Georgetown thinks better of it.
And this is a dangerous spot for Georgetown now. Now you're 3rd and 18, back at your own 5-yard line. What do? You run the football I don't think you can throw the football right now if you're Coach Scarlata. You just got to run the football, get as much yards as you can.
Probably see some sort of screen play, whether it's a running back screen or some sort of slip screen to the receiver.
Georgetown wasn't even ready. They let the play go off. McLaughlin's just going to get what he can get and ends up getting it out to the 10-yard line. So a full compliment for McCollum to punt, but I know, and we may see it on the replay, guys, that I think Jessen was still kind of adjusting his face mask. He didn't know the play was going. Norris just got it snapped knowing, hey, I got to get this thing off. We can't take back-to-back delay of games.
Yeah, there was definitely some confusion throughout that entire drive there, and we can hear it in the booth next to us. The offensive coach is not happy with that series, wondering what's going on the sideline there, what's the miscommunication that's happening, and why. And then now they need to go out and fix it so they can come out in that next offensive drive and look a little sharper.
So McCollum could use a good punt here. He'll boot it away, end-over-end kick. Wyzork's going to let it bounce, catches it on the hop, trying to get to the outside. He may have some room. Wyzork gets to the sidelines. McCollum will bang him out of bounds, but not until he takes it down to the 25-yard line. So the returnable kick, and Wyzork makes Georgetown pay for it.
He had two great blocks on that punt return right there that really created the lane. You're going to see him coming back front side here. Number 8 gets a good block, boom, 21, boom, and that clears him around the corner and gets another good lead block right here by the receiver.
You talk about textbook blocking on punt return. That was absolutely beautiful. Great job by the blockers, not getting in the back, getting squared up, getting their blocks, and allowing Wyzork to break loose.
So Holy Cross with a chance to pad their 1-point lead. Last series, got 2 15-yard penalties, one on a sideline interference, and then another on a face mask. Both would have ended the drive. Now this is going to be the end of this play as Georgetown comes with the pressure, and they bring Wade down for the sack.
And between Lockery and Kislick, the team meeting at the quarterback right there. Nice pressure coming upfield, just really being aggressive in their rush lanes and getting the quarterback down for a loss. Good job by Kislick beating his block on the outside. Lockery coming right through that A-gap and getting the sack.
Yeah, and we've seen Holy Cross's offensive line do a really nice job at pass protecting today. Georgetown has found something schematically that is causing trouble for that offensive line. They've gotten a lot of pressure to Wade in this second half.
Walker the back of the backfield alongside of Wade. Wade looking over the middle. Pocket breaks down again, and Novacki gets the sack.
Back-to-back sacks right there by that Hoyas defensive front. Again, if you can get pressure without blitzing, then you're doing an excellent job up front defensively. And again, now you're finding yourself in a situation where it's 3rd and super long, maybe 3rd and 20 here. And if you're Georgetown, do you drop back in coverage or do you stay aggressive and try to push these guys out of field goal range? And if you're Holy Cross, do you take a shot deep down the field like you've done all game long in these situations?
Wasp, not a bad field goal kicker. He's got some length to his game. We'll see if that plays into Tom Gilmore's thinking here. Need to take it all the way down to the 15-yard line for a first down. Over the middle. Flaherty barely keeps that one off the ground. They'll say he gets the catch, so it'll be marked just inside the 27-yard line. So this can make it a more manageable kick.
And that was a missed opportunity there for Wade. He had Lockery coming, he had Flaherty coming across the middle there. Had he put that football on him, he had a lot of room to the sideline to run the ball. Great catch by Flaherty,
right.
Though. I mean, fantastic effort. Gives them an opportunity to at least try and kick a field goal here.
44-yard field goal for Wasp. This is his season long. Hoyas great at blocking kicks. Can they get one here? They can't. Wasp gets it away, and he is going to miss it to the right. So Wasp can't hit and match his season long, and all the punt return for Wyzork does nothing except take some time off the clock. Let's go ahead and send it down to Ariana Tarullo.
Confusion on the sideline for the Georgetown offense. Earlier this half, I noticed there was a mix-up on the name of a certain play and people's respective role for that play. And then after the last series, there were players coming off the field saying, I had no idea what I was doing. So hopefully they're working to get that cleared up, guys.
Thanks, Anna. So a little bit of communication issues when it comes to some of the terminology hurting the Hoyas, but they get a break there as Wasp unable to connect, and Georgetown again chasing just 1 point, so the field goal is in play. Norris, he's going to take off up the middle and dives forward, gets what he can. And again, guys, we're seeing a Clay Norris making some good, quick decisions.
Yeah, and the Holy Cross defense just confused Clay Norris with that coverage there. They did a late roll to the field, late cover 5 roll where they played a cover 2 to the field and the cover 4 to the boundary there. Totally confused Clay Norris, but he's had such a good game today, making those quick decisions, running, getting those 5 yards for a positive play.
Now fakes to Vallis, to Hill, who's going to make the catch, but only a 2-yard gain.
You guys always have it tough, Mike, when you're seeing things pre-snap and then post-snap guys roll coverage or some guy may come off the edge and blitz, and you also have to keep your eyes downfield. So it's very tough being a quarterback. I don't envy you guys at all.
It's very tough, especially in situations like that where you have that late roll. And that's why, I was always taught by my quarterback coaches to you have to, at the snap, you're always reading that boundary safety. The boundary safety is always going to tell you what the coverage is based on his role, but a very hard thing for a sophomore quarterback in Clay Norris to do.
4-man front as Holy Cross is going to bring some pressure. Hill is going to make the catch, kicks it up off the carpet. He gets 5 yards, and that's good enough for a first down.
Yo, Hill hasn't dropped the pass all game long, I don't believe.
He's been fantastic.
He's been outstanding.
Absolutely.
This is a great job right there, moving the sticks. And you want to see this offense start to pick up the pace a little bit and not get too comfortable in the situation where they have the football in a lead. They have to get points on this drive.
Scarlata telling Norris, let's pick the pace up. Again, Holy Cross showing some pressure. Norris out in the flat for Hill, who turns up at the last second. They'll mark him out just 1 yard short of the sticks.
Find number 5. That should be the goal right now. You can't run the football. Clay Norris is throwing with confidence. Find number 5. Let Justin Hill get the football in his hand and make big plays like he's been doing all day.
He has really ran great routes, too, because you just don't get open like that by happenstance. You're running great routes and you're finding the football. You're finding yourself open for your quarterback.
Ryan Jelinek now into the game as a tight end, converted tackle. And see if they run it behind him. Vallis up the middle. He pushes forward, depends on the spot. They're going to say he didn't gain anything.
But again, guys, we talked about it a couple drives ago. It was 2nd and 1. Take a shot downfield. You have 3rd down coming up. You got momentum. Use that play to take a shot downfield. You're not risking anything by taking a shot and missing it. Now it's still 3rd and 1 regardless.
Coming up on 3.5 minutes to go. Vallis will get it. This time he gets the first down. And I think the booth, the coaching staff next to us wants to see a little bit more pace. Don't let Holy Cross set up and know what's going on.
And see, this is a situation where, Mike, you want to run that play-action pass off of a fake power run where you're going to have that one solo route go deep, maybe a deep post, maybe a straight seam route. But now is the time where you want to take that shot deep down the field.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go as Georgetown down by 1 against Holy Cross. Crusaders, pressure. Norris has got a fall on it. And that is a crushing blow for Georgetown, who kind of had things in their way.
And I'll tell you what, guys, they actually just had the perfect play call. We were listening to the coaches next to us talking about they were just about to take a shot. They had the perfect play call on, a cover 3 look, had Justin Hill going across the safety's face, had the other wide receiver on the outside wide open behind him. A big missed opportunity for the Hoya offense there.
So now a 2nd and 17. As Norris, now time becoming a factor. He's going to roll out, throws it, that'll be picked off. Linebacker stepping in front, Andre Chevalier makes the play, and back-to-back mistakes end up hurting the Hoyas. Now their defense will be called on one more time.
He ran that route better than the receiver. He ran like a nice drifted back into his zone, looked like he ran a speed out, but and that's where pressure disrupts the pocket, because right there, coming off hard off the edge was the defender for Holy Cross, affected that throw to where it was short, inside, bad placement, picked off.
And as good of a game as Clay Norris has played, that was the first really bad decision that we've seen him make, because he was late getting out there. He was late to the flat. You never want to be late to the flat because all of the defense is rolling with you. They've already had the time to get in front of you. And that's where you see mistakes like that happen. You throw late to the flat, and the defender steps right in front. So now a huge, huge possession here for the Hoya defense.
Bounce to the outside and getting some yardage after it looked like it was going to be a stop for a loss was Daquan Walker, and Georgetown immediately takes their timeout.
Georgetown.
It's a good job right there by Javion Butler and company, flying up because the running back tried to bounce it outside, and that perimeter defense was right there to make the stop.
So Hoya is obviously looking to get a stop here. They have all their timeouts, so they would get the ball back in pretty good shape, all things considered. And it's one of those plays, I always kind of think about this a little unconventionally. In this huddle, do you even put the negative idea in of, hey, if he breaks this, you got to let him go because we're going to get the ball back with a chance to win it, only be down by 8. We see the replay here, this one, good play by the Hoyas defense.
Yeah, it's a tough discussion. If you're the head coach, what do you do? Do you tell your defense, hey, you know, if he does break one, let it happen and we'll get the football back? Or do you say, listen, you guys go all out every single play, get that football back for me, get in there, get the strip? What do you tell your guys? Because you can't tell them both.
You can't tell them both, and you got to pick one, and it's tough because when you look at how well your offense has moved the football, you kind of want that ball back, but your defense has shown the ability to make game-changing plays, and they need one right here.
And they stopped the run extremely well all day as well.
2nd and 9. Wade, he's going to throw it. This actually going to just try and run it. Cuts it back inside, still on his feet, eventually brought down. Ball almost came loose when he hit the ground. It takes some time up, but only gains a yard.
Man, that's an interesting play call for me. As a former quarterback, do you trust your quarterback the most to run the football? In a situation like this, do you trust him the most?
The only thing, and again, he never had the ball up, could that have been maybe a, hey, if Georgetown completely sells out, there was a pass there?
I don't know if there would have been a pass. I think maybe more of a naked. If Georgetown's defense had completely sold out on the run, thinking, hey, he's getting the football no matter what, maybe it could have been a little bit of a naked play where, you know, Georgetown's defense just held on that. So an interesting play call nonetheless. I think in situations like this, you want your running back handling the football.
I remember a play like this back in 2003. It was Indianapolis at Buffalo. Key stop situation. They ran all-out run blitz. Peyton Manning took it around the corner for 51 yards by himself, ran it for a touchdown. So I've never seen a giraffe run that fast, and it was it just happened because it played out just like you said. Like they sold out for the run, they had to get that stop, but the naked bootleg, no one was going to expect Peyton Manning to take it around the end, and he did it for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you have the call on and it works, you're a genius.
You're a genius, right?
Receivers each way. They're just going to run the ball up the middle, still on his feet, and eventually stopped at the 37-yard line is Walker, and Georgetown takes that 3rd time out. So the question now, where does Holy Cross go? You would think they'll just try and punt this one away with 1:58 left to go in the game.
Yeah, I think that'll be the smarter move because we've seen how pressure affected the last field goal attempt that they missed, and you don't want to give up good field position right here to Georgetown. So I would say pooch punt, try to at least angle it toward the corner or where the sun is, as opposed to going over to the other side of the field. So,
and now the question I think for if you're Coach Scarlatta is, you got a bunch of punts that you've blocked on the year. Do you come out right now and try and get a block, get some momentum, get a little something going, or do you play it safe and hope that your offense can come out and put a nice 2-minute drive together? I think that's a tricky question right now if you're Scarlatta, because ultimately you run the risk of running into the kicker, getting the football, keeping the football with Holy Cross. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this punt out.
So Wells is coming out, so it's going to be a punt. Remember, folks, Christian Tate not playing today due to an ankle injury. He's got 3 block kicks, I believe, all on punts. Hunter Kislick, I believe his or most are all on extra points. Actually, 2 of those are on field goals. So more the punt blocker is Tate. Let's see where they go. They'll send one man back. That's Brown. He'll stand just inside his 10-yard line. One-point game. Holy Cross just trying to get this one away. Pressure. Punter goes down, but the referee says no. The ball will be downed. Is it at the 1-yard line, or did it get into the end zone? They will say it is down at the 1.
Oh, you want to play college football? This is what you signed up for. You have to go 99 yards for a touchdown, but you really, with the field goal kicker that you have, maybe you need to get a good 60 yards to get in play. The punter tried to sell the run.
He tried to, didn't he?
He almost did it. Ruff looked at him and shook his head like, no way, son. It didn't work this time, but I thought that was
yes, and I was just about to bring that point up. I thought the rule was if any part of you is in the end zone or touching the end zone, it's a touchback. I don't know if that's something that they missed or if that's that's not the rule, but that's always the rule that I've understood it as. So if that is the rule, bad break for the Hoyas here. But like you said, this is what you live for. 99 yards. Can Clay Norris do it?
Norris, 4 wide receivers. He'll get it out to Hill, who cuts back. Looked like he had a chance to get out of bounds. Instead, takes the yardage. That's going to make the clocks keep ticking.
Yeah, there's no timeouts right now for Georgetown, so this pace has to get picked up pretty quickly.
Remember, Norris, not that many starts on the season. He'll throw this one looking down the sidelines for Williams, incomplete, and ball gets out of play.
And these are the situations that you usually see offensive struggle in the 2-minute drill with the backup quarterback. He didn't have all preseason to really work with this unit. He obviously knows the procedure and how things work, but it's just one of those things. A backup quarterback, it's very difficult to come into a 2-minute situation and succeed.
And this is the one situation in practice that you can't simulate is live
Absolutely.
game action. It's very tough to do.
Rob Scarlatta said to us during the week, hey, we've had to go a little bit liver in practice than we normally would to get him ready. These quarterbacks, Hill's going to make the catch. He's going to be hit and brought down, and that's going to keep the clock running.
And he's short.
Had to get across the sticks, didn't do it. And so now Georgetown just has to get the first down.
A great perimeter defense right there by Holy Cross, rallying up and making a tackle.
Now Georgetown switching the entire formation. More time ticking off the clock.
Taking a long time to get this play off.
5 wide receivers again. Norris throws it again, looking for Hill, and that is going to be incomplete. And a flag comes in from all the way in the back. Holy Cross already celebrating, but I think the ref saw a hand on the back.
That's a tough call because you had the ref right there that didn't throw the flag, but I want to say the field judge all the way back through the penalty.
Defense, number 38.
Talk about a help me out.
And they've missed a couple where they should have thrown the flag today, but that was one I think that the linebacker just read this play perfectly, and that's a close one.
I'll say this, the left hand was on the back the entire time. I think that's what he saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really affected the play.
Right, I agree.
I'll put it this way, folks. The Hoyas get a death row reprieve right there. The governor just called. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. 1st and 10, and Norris needs some chunk plays, and he's going to get thrown to the ground for a sack.
And the number one rule if you're a quarterback in a 2-minute drill is never take a sack, because now everybody has to run back. You're wasting a lot of time. The clock's ticking. Number one rule, never take the sack.
And that was our 2 defensive end players to watch in the game meeting at the quarterback for that crucial sack right there in Smith and Cameron.
Norris rolling out. He's just going to get out of bounds now and stop the clock and let Georgetown reset themselves. Ends up gaining 4 yards on the play.
I mean, you can't ask for 2 better plays from your defensive ends. Cameron and Smith just meeting at the quarterback for a crucial play.
And I think the problem right now with this drive is, they had an entire game to take shots down the field, and they haven't. Why is it going to be different in a 2-minute drill?
That's a good point because, again, if you're doing something that you're not used to doing,
exactly,
it's not going to work for you.
So 3rd and 11 for Georgetown. Let's see what they can do. Need a play down the field. Norris throws this one. It is going to be batted around. And is it caught? They will say it is, and that'll end the game as Holy Cross gets the play, and I believe that was, again, Kyle Young was called for the penalty to extend the drive. He finishes it, and Holy Cross will come away from the district with a win.
And unfortunately for Georgetown, that might be one of those poetic justice plays where flag probably shouldn't have been thrown. Comes back, makes a fantastic play. A little bit of an overthrow here by Clay Norris, but a great job by the Holy Cross defense following through on that play, staying focused, coming up with a big turnover, and a big win for the Holy Cross Crusaders.
But they turned up the pressure a little bit, I want to say, in this last few drives for Holy Cross. Just great defensive plays we've seen from the defensive end level, from the linebacker level, and in the secondary.
Holy Cross's defense coming up big late as they're able to stop Georgetown and come away from D.C. with a 1-point win. Crusaders beat the Hoyas 21-20. Again, Georgetown oh so close. The good news is today, guys, they got a little more offense going. The bad news, it just wasn't enough.
Well, I think they found their quarterback in Clay Norris. I think he played extremely well in that second half. He started figuring out what was working. The offensive coordinator was starting to figure out what Clay Norris was good at. And ultimately, they had some success in the second half, just couldn't find a way to get that extra field goal that they needed at the end.
Yeah, I tell you, it was really big, Emory, that one possession with the two 15-yard penalties. If they get it back on the first one, you're probably getting the ball at the 50-yard line. And the way Darmstadter's kicking today, maybe need one first down, you're in range.
Exactly. They had to get to at least a 35, and he would have been within good range to make a field goal. And you go back to those other two plays where the penalties kind of doomed them, the fumble snap and then the sack. That right there, to me, were the biggest plays of the game.
And instead, the Hoyas unable to go ahead and get the win. Holy Cross, they finish their schedule off next week as they'll take on Fordham, a real well-anticipated one, as the Rams and the Crusaders will face off at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the 3 o'clock start should be an exciting one there. Of course, Georgetown has a few more games of their own coming up against Bucknell next week and then against Colgate the week after that. Let's get it down to Anna.
Tough loss at home by 1. What's going through your mind right now?
I just wish we could have pulled it off at the end. You know, you have a couple sideline things and some things that are really strange in 21 years I haven't seen. But, you know, the kids fought hard on both sides. We need to be able to operate in a 2-minute drill at the end. And really proud of the way our kids came out and fought the entire game. Though that thing could have went the other way after giving up a couple deep balls in the first half. And our kids fought to stay in it. So we'll look at it. We'll keep getting better. And this thing's not a one-game season. So we're looking forward to getting on the field against Bucknell next week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Coach. Of course, Coach a little upset about that one sideline interference play, but that would loom large. But early in the game, guys, it would be the big play potential this time. First play of the game going to Flaherty, Mike.
Yeah, it was all about taking shots early for Holy Cross's offense. They came out, did a couple of drives where they took the shot on the very first play, and then on that very first drive, banging it in for the end zone there on that beautiful run.
Cozier would go in, but then Michael Darius would answer right back, Emory.
Answering on special teams, getting cheap special teams touchdowns is a big thing right here in this ball game. They did a great job all game long in that third aspect of the game.
Kept them in it right there, but then again, Mike, it would be going deep, and again, guess who?
Yeah, again, Flaherty just coming up big. He came up big all day for Holy Cross, making big catches, whether it was down the field or just intermediate catches to get first downs.
Then the Crusaders would go for the jump ball in the corner. Dorsey out jumps Jelani Williamson on that play, gives a bigger lead to Holy Cross. And again, Emory, they would go deep once again.
They played above the rim all game long. That particular pass play led to a touchdown run, which put them up once again.
So, but then it would be a time for a little bit of a gamble, a fake field goal, Mike, for the Hoyas.
Yeah, and it was a big gamble for Coach Scarlotta, but I think one that his team needed. They rallied around it, ended up finishing the drive with a beautiful touchdown there by Alex Vallis.
Yeah, Vallis punches it in to get the Hoyas right back into things, but then we would see Holy Cross with a special teams play of their own.
Yeah, a good, outstanding return here, setting themselves up in good field position to make things happen, but they go right back to the deep ball. This time it was picked off.
Yeah, Jelani Williamson making the pick, getting the Hoyas back up. Kind of set up a weird scenario where there were some timeouts taken. There was some extra things going back and forth. They really took a long time to play, about the last 30 seconds of the half, but that would take us into the half, and we would sit at a 21-10 score. But then the Hoyas would come back, and they would start getting some things going as Hill made some big catches today, Mike.
Yeah, Clay Norris found some momentum, finding Justin Hill, finding different ways to get him the football really worked effectively in that entire second half.
Darmstadter banged one through from 49 to make it a 1-point game in the third quarter, but the Hoyas could never get closer, and we would see a few big plays as they moved through. This would be a run by Walker as he would get it out and give Holy Cross some space, and then eventually Holy Cross would keep things moving. This was the Hoyas kind of got back into it, a big play here.
Yeah, a big play for the Hoya defense, and you thought moving forward all the momentum was in Georgetown's favor. All they needed was that one extra field goal. Unfortunately, they just couldn't find a way to get it.
Lions with the recovery there. Holy Cross would again try and put the game away with some big plays, but we would see the Hoyas defense step up, keep them in the game. Novacki right here making the sack. We saw that. It just seemed like the Hoyas defense would come through sometimes. Missed field goal here This kept the Hoyas in it again as it was just pushed to the side. And so it stayed a 20-1-20 game. But again, we would see right here, Emory, the big play that cost Georgetown.
Yeah, that was a game clincher right there. Nice drop by the linebacker, getting in the passing window and picking the ball off. And you see right here, closing out the game with another interception.
Yeah, 2 interceptions late, helping Holy Cross salt away this 21-20 win. You see the stats, and again, it was one of those things where the Hoyas did okay on the offensive end. Time possession was good, but really those big plays in the passing game, Mike, helped out Holy Cross greatly.
Yeah, just not enough offensively for Georgetown. They found some good things in that second half, but ultimately Holy Cross's pass game, 308 yards through the air, really doing a nice job at keeping Holy Cross in it and doing just enough in that second half to pull out the win.
Your final thoughts, Emory?
I love the fact that they were able to overcome turnovers and win this ball game. I'm talking about Holy Cross, but Georgetown, you saw some seeds for next season or for the next game that they can build on.
Of course, the next game for the Hoyas against Bucknell, they'll look to win the home finale. Holy Cross moves on to their big game next week in the Bronx against Fordham. Well, as all the folks who have helped me bring you this game, again, great job by all of you. For my partners today, Michael Niebrook and Emory Hunt, and our sideline reporter, Anna Tarullo, I'm Jeremy Huber. Once again, your final from D.C. Holy Cross beats Georgetown 21-20. Good afternoon, everybody.